I'm just waiting to see who's here. So please do comment to let me know you're here. So this is the 5-year anniversary of my channel celebration, I guess. I have been doing videos for 5 years. I cannot believe it. I'm actually kind of surprised that I'm still doing it after all this time. If you had told me that I would have a YouTube channel before I started, I would have laughed and said, no, not something I thought I would ever do. And yet here I am 5 years later. And I have to say, it's something I thoroughly enjoy. It's one of my favorite things to do. Hello, Madam Vader. At least there's one person here. Yeah, I'm convinced no one's going to turn up, but that's okay. I can talk for hours. Oh, hi, Jerome. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, it's nice to see that there are some people here. I hope you're all doing well. Oh, thank you so much, Jared. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Christian, hello, Christian. Ah, you're wonderful. Thank you so much, Christian. That's such a lovely comment. And I'm really enjoying watching your videos as well. But thank you. I guess it is an accomplishment, isn't it? 5 years. It's a long time to be doing this. And whilst I am taking a break at the moment, that doesn't mean I'll always be taking a break. It's just I need some time off. But lives are different. You don't really have to do all that much to prepare. You just come on and talk because that's what I do anyway. I can talk for hours. Hello, Anitha. Thank you so much. I meant to send you a link if you'd like to join. You're very welcome to join. Anyone is. If you let me know, I'll put it in the chat and you're welcome to join me. I think that's how you do it. I have no idea. Oh, thank you, Rogue. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate all of you coming. Now, I'm trying these headphones because I've got a feeling my speakers are echoing. But since there's no one here, I might take them off just for a second because it's really weird trying to hear myself. And oh, yeah, there you go. You ruined the hair, right? Thankfully, I'm not that vain. Yeah. Anyway, so how is everyone doing today? I know it's still a bit early. This is the end of my day, actually. It's 1 a.m. here. I'm always awake at this time, so I don't feel like it is, all that late. Hi, Capricious Fox. Now, I think you have to tell me what your name is on Discord. I can't remember. Oh, and I know you, and I know you, but I just can't recall. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Well, I don't know if I'll be going for 2 hours, Anita, but you never know. I never say never, right? Yeah, thank you, though. Well, I'll put the link anyway. I might do it on Discord and just let people know, but I might do a little bit later. I kind of feel like that'll take me away from you guys. Not that, you need to have me here, but there's no one else. So at least, yeah, I can keep talking. So I thought I would ask everyone what their plans are for today, what they're reading, of course, because don't we always talk about that? And you can ask me questions about my channel, about what I'm reading, about all those kinds of things. Lazy day here, just struggling to pick up my next read. Yeah, you and I both, Madam Vader. You know what a mood reader I am. It can be hard sometimes. It can even almost put you not in a slump, but kind of where do I start? And sometimes I will start 4 or 5 books and realize I don't know which one I want to read. You're doing well currently at a graduation party. Lovely. Well, congratulations to them. You're reading Stone Wielder. I know which one that is. Oh, that's good. 7 out of 10 is pretty good for that. I'm actually looking forward to reading the Esselmont books, and I'm not sure when I'll start. I might start it after I finish the Big 10, and that I am hoping to finish maybe early June. It's my aim to read that. You had a great walk in spring sunshine. It's winter. Well, it's autumn here, though you wouldn't guess it. At the moment, it's actually really warm in Melbourne for May. It's, well, okay, not today, but honestly, we've had like 27 degrees Celsius, which is really high for us in May. Oh, the Devils. I've actually bought that. I haven't received it. Yeah, it's a shame you're not enjoying it, Jerome. Not everything is for us. How's the Malazan? I have a commitment. I'm reading, what's it called? The Dark Tower on my channel. I haven't read the 3rd book yet, so I need to read that. And then I'm anticipating starting Malazan this month, book 9. And then I'm going to read the final because I think they are is a cliffhanger. So I'd like to go from that straight on to the next one. 4 p.m. there here. Whereabouts are you, Rogue? I thought you were in the States. Or are you in LA, or am I wrong? How are you finding the speaking bones? It seems people are kind of liking them and not liking them. The Grace of Kings, anyway. Oh, my 3 best books that I've read so far this year. Yeah, it's all going to be Malazan. What a surprise. I'm so predictable, Anita. I really am. Well, hello, Matt.
Congratulations, Kath. How are you going?
I'm good. Hang on.
Excellent.
Now I need my headphones because I
All right.
try headphones. Oops. Oh, damn it. One sec. I took them off because it sounded really weird listening to myself. Well, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. How are you doing? Welcome.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. No, I just started an interesting new book, although it's actually a novella.
And what's that?
Today. It's Terrible Worlds by Adrian Tchaikovsky, which is
short stories, isn't it?
Well, it's a collection of 3 novellas.
Oh, novellas. Okay.
Yeah, Ironclads, Firewalkers, and Ogres. And I'm reading Ogres.
Heard Ogres is really good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had a buddy read planned with Evie, and she betrayed me and spontaneously started and finished reading it without even mentioning it.
Oh, she did. I saw that actually. Yeah. Yeah. I think she's known for dusting everyone, isn't she?
Yeah. I mean, it's a novella, so it's actually probably a dumb idea
long
for a buddy read. It's like I'll read it this weekend, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hi Thornall, hi Jerome, hi Anita.
Yes, hi Thornall.
Hi Rogue.
I'm so glad to see you, Thornall.
Always glad to see you, Thornall.
Well, Anita had a good question actually. What are the 3 best books we've read so far this year? And you guys need to tell me in the chat as well. But I said mainly Malazan. What a surprise. Bone Hunters. What was book 6? No, that's Bone Hunters. Told the Hounds. Reaper's Gale I didn't love as much, though I still loved it. And also the dungeon crawlers. I am loving those books, and I've
Everyone
just
says
finished
that.
5. Yeah, seriously, they just get better
It's
and better as
it's
well.
almost gotten to the point for me that it's like the Mormons when they come to your door or something. Like there are so many people, and it's like
Trying to convert you.
every time I talk to anyone about books, they're always like, "But have you read Dungeon Crawler Carl? The audiobooks, by the way, are really good."
I just listened to one from
Yeah,
start to finish, which I don't normally do, but they were, well, it was really good, but it's so much slower. I'm such a faster reader that it was like, it's taking forever, but I'm a knitter, so it gave me the opportunity to knit as
sure.
well.
Perfect. Perfect.
Top 3 Malazan books, right? Well, actually, Matt, you didn't answer. What are your top
Top
3 books
3
for the
books
year?
this year. I
Mm,
haven't actually read that much, to be honest. I've been kind of not in a complete slump, but I've been much slower than I usually am because I've been doing a lot on my
thank
other
you.
channel and
Mm,
therefore playing lots of video games and watching movies and series and stuff. Um Jingo was very good, which is the 4th book in the City
yeah.
Watch.
Yeah, Night Watch was fantastic. You're going to love
Yeah,
Night Watch. I
I haven't
loved
quite
it.
gotten there yet. Yep.
You're close though, I think.
2 books. Yeah, exactly. Fifth Elephant and then Night Watch. Um, what else has been good? Um, I don't have them all in my head very well, actually, right now. Return of the Crimson Guard was, I definitely wouldn't say it's top 3, but it was very interesting. At
Mm,
least
I
because
know
it's
you did love
lore.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad, but you could tell, first of all, I think he wrote it over a period of like 10 or 15 years, and you can kind of tell it's kind of inconsistent. And it's, I think, his second novel ever, which also is kind of apparent. And everybody says they get better. The
Yeah.
Esmont
Yeah.
books get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what else have I read this year? Oh, Guns of the Dawn, I think I read in January or February, and that was very good.
I didn't like it. I know
Yeah,
that's an
I
unpopular
remember.
opinion, but I didn't love it. It's all right. I
Yeah,
just didn't love it. It wasn't that I
yeah.
hated it. Honestly, the thing I hated the most was that book I just finished, the Louise Penny. Boy, I think that was the worst book I've read this year. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm a big fan of hers, but not for that one.
Evie just joined. I already dissed you before you joined, Evie, and I started Ogres
Thank
all by
you.
myself without you today.
Now,
Um,
Rogue, is there really 2 of you? I've always
there's
assumed there is one of you. Is
there's
one of you the
one.
one who is also on Alan's channel, or is
Yeah,
that okay?
there's one called the Sci-Fi Rogue, and then there's the Rogue. And the Rogue is in Ireland, and the
Ah,
Sci-Fi Rogue, I think, is in California or something.
I thought that one
And
was
they are
also
different people.
Irish, just living in the States. Maybe I'm
Maybe.
wrong. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, Rogue. Now that I know, whereabouts in Ireland are you? Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah,
glad you're
good question.
liking Dandelion Dynasty. Your 3 best books, Jerome, are Mary Gentle's Ash. Okay. All books that I have no idea about and haven't read. Yeah.
I've read Dancers at the End of Time, but it was a really long time ago. Like at the end of time ago.
Mm.
Colton's here. Hi, Colton.
Oh, thank you, Colton. Thank you so much.
It's funny, actually, 5 years. Like
Mm.
when you sent the invite for that, I was like, really? Because I think I discovered your channel sort of accidentally, indirectly somehow, like 2 years ago.
Did you
And,
really?
yeah, and then I was like, oh, cool!
Okay.
Like someone who is older and
Yeah.
Australian and
Yeah.
reading stuff I want to read. Cool.
Yeah.
So I was into it. Mostly, I'll be honest, because I'm an Australian who lives outside of Australia. All you have to do is be an Australian, and I'll watch your channel.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Like,
get
I
that.
just miss the accent and
I
the
get
attitude and the humor and all of it.
Yeah, I get that. But the truth is too that I haven't always been a book channel. Like for a couple of years, I was also a plant channel. And
Ah,
really, I didn't
okay.
talk about books. I talked mainly about plants. That's how I started. But after a while, I got tired of talking about plants because I have limited number. And
Right.
everyone kept asking me about my books because they could see them in my videos.
Okay.
And in a way, it's got me into reading again on a regular basis. And I thought there's so many more books I can talk about than plants. So that's only been, I think, not even 3 years or maybe close to
Okay.
3 years. Yeah.
It vaguely rings a bell because what I often
Mhm.
do whenever I find a new channel that I like is I'll go back into their back catalog and just sort of randomly click through a few videos. And
Yeah.
I remember early on going to one of your early videos. I was like, she only talks about plants.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not here for plants.
Why do I
Um,
break? Oh, I know why I'm breaking Anita's heart. Yeah. Oh,
because you didn't love Guns of the Dawn.
yes, I'm sorry about that. But, I still
Yeah.
love you, Anita, and I'm sure I loved Senlin Ascends and Long Price Quartet, which I'm really keen to get back to, but I've had so many read-alongs and buddy reads that I just haven't had a chance yet.
I've I've got
Thank you
I've
so
got
much,
I've got
Deb.
your Guns of the Dawn problem right now with the video game. Like the
Oh,
entire world is totally in love with Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which is like the longest, clumsiest name of a video game ever, but everybody's really in love with it.
mm.
So I was like, it can't be bad. And I picked it up. Luckily, it wasn't crazy expensive like a lot of AAA games because it's a much smaller game. And I played 7 hours and I'm kind of bored.
I don't play a lot of games, but
Yeah, no, I know.
during this break, I have actually been playing Civ 3, and I'm already starting to get bored because I do. And then I'll probably start editing and start bringing out videos, or I may do something else entirely. I'm
Yeah.
taking a break, obviously, from YouTube for a few weeks.
I
Skin
find
game.
also those kinds of games. I also like the Civ games, but I've been playing like the last one I
Hi,
played was Civ
Marianne.
6, and I'm going to pick up Civ 7 soon and play a lot of that probably. But I find that you always kind of get up to a certain point where you understand the game well enough that you don't have a problem with it anymore. And then it starts getting kind of boring. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I know how to do everything. I know how to win relatively easily.
Same. And
I'm
then
always about learning games. I'm not necessarily about mastering everything on the hardest level kind of thing, you know?
I do that, and then I like to just play, like for Civ, I like the build. I like building 1,000,001 cities and taking over all the map. That's my favorite thing. Not fighting, but every now and again, I like a good battle as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't
On
tried more than 4. I've tried 4, Civ 4,
okay.
hated it. But I've
Okay.
heard that 5 and 6 are better. Just haven't
Six
tried
is
them yet.
six is really good. I don't really know the earlier
Mm.
ones at all. I didn't start playing Civ until like 5, I think. But 6 is I put a lot of hours into 6. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I know the game well enough. I want to make things difficult for myself. And you can play the Maori in Civ 6, and the
Oh.
Maori start the game in a canoe in the ocean.
Oh, really?
They
And they
start
have to go and land.
there's no land
Yeah.
in sight. You start in the middle of an
Oh.
ocean and you have to just like start paddling and
Now that would
find
be cool.
land. And that always, I mean,
That would
sometimes
be
it's
cool.
really annoying because you end up like 20, 30 turns behind because you didn't find anywhere
Mm.
good to build. But often I quite like the challenge of it anyway.
I do enjoy Civ, but I just haven't started playing the next one. I'm worried that I'll get so obsessed. You won't see me on YouTube for several months because I'll just play it non-stop. So I
I know that
haven't.
feeling.
Yeah.
I know that feeling. Long
Storm
Price Quartet,
Fortress.
by the way, Rogue said Long Price Quartet slaps, as the kids say. Although I've only read the first book, I need to, before Anitha says it, I'll say it. I need to read the rest of it. 3
I
more.
really liked the first book. Took me a bit of time to get used to all the poses. But after that, I just loved the magical system, just blew me away. I thought this is unique. And I really like the writing. So I'm keen to start it or continue it. It's just that I've had
Oh, you've also only read the first one.
I've only read the first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I read it last
Understand.
year, late towards the end of the year. Thank you, Teresa. That I just haven't had a chance to go back to it because I committed to Malazan and I committed to Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. Enjoy your kebab, Jerome. I love kebabs. They're one of my favorite meals.
Yeah, me too. Shishtabuk.
Yeah. Now,
Shishtabuk.
Yeah, regardless, I just haven't had a chance to get back to it. I'm hoping that once I finish Malazan, then I can go back to these series that I've kind of left in the middle. Like I haven't read more of Black Company.
You know that there are 26 books.
I'm talking about the main 10. I'm talking about the main 10. And
Okay.
also, I'm not really thinking of doing reviews of the other ones. I'm thinking of, I'm thinking of actually, thank you, Joanna. You should be in Europe at the moment because I saw an Instagram post. Yeah,
I'm
you're
pretty
in
sure
Amsterdam. I hope you're loving it.
Yep. I'm never speaking to Joanna again because she's coming to visit Europe, but she's not coming to visit me.
Yeah.
That is wrong.
It is wrong, actually.
No, it's fine, Joanna. I understand.
If actually, I was doing Capricious tourism, Fox. It was my favorite as well. I love Civ 2, but I can't play it on Windows 10. I have to have a special setup in order to play it. Thank you, Kiki, so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for coming. I'm so glad to see everyone. You guys are wonderful. Now, I'm having a lot of trouble with these. I can hear you really well. I can't hear myself, so I sound really hollow. So I think I'm actually going to remove them for now.
Sure.
Just give me a sec.
I was joking, Joanna. I mean, like if you coming to visit me just because you're in Berlin.
Hang on. I can't hear a thing. You can talk to everyone else, but just give me a second. I have to change my sound now.
You coming to Europe and specifically coming to Berlin only to visit me would be like me coming to America where I was going to New York and then I would come visit you. Like that probably also wouldn't happen. So yeah, absolutely forgivable and understandable that you didn't specifically come to Berlin to visit me.
Yeah, if she was going to Germany then and she didn't
If she was going to Germany and didn't let me know, that would be a real problem.
Of course.
But yeah, Amsterdam.
I'm hoping she's having a blast. Yeah.
Amsterdam is close compared to where she lives, but it's not that close.
Close to you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think Amsterdam is like a 7-hour train ride from here, or maybe a little more. So it's not exactly close.
Yeah. Honestly, we can fit the whole of Europe into Australia. So when people say it's only 7 or 8 hours, I think that's nothing.
You can fit the whole of Germany 8 times in Australia. So
Australia, people forget we're actually a really large country. I think
it's as big as the United States.
Yeah, I think the US is slightly larger. I think it's Russia,
very
then
slightly.
US,
It's pretty
then
close.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Australia. I mean, for us, we've traveled across the country. It can take hours to drive from one place to another, but it's crazy. We can put Greece, just Greece, into Victoria alone, and Victoria
Yeah.
is one of the smaller states. So,
But
yeah.
it's also, Melbourne is the third largest Greek city in the world.
Really?
After Athens and Thessaloniki, there are more Greeks
Already.
in
Well,
Melbourne than anywhere else.
well, I think I did know that already.
It's a very Greek city.
Well, I mean, my family immigrated from Greece, so
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with the Greek community here. They used to
Yeah.
say we actually had an even bigger population. I don't know now, but it used to be, I think
For
we are the largest Greek population, I believe, in Melbourne, outside of Greece, in the whole of the world, is my
yeah, well,
understanding.
it's like I said, it's the third largest Greek city in the world after Athens and Thessaloniki. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Have you been
it's
to Greece?
I have many times. I have a lot of good
Mm.
friends in Greece. I've been to Athens and Thessaloniki, and I did a lot of camping in the mountains behind Corfu, and been to Corfu and all of that. Yeah, it's nice. I like
Been to
Greece a
the
lot.
islands? Yeah. It's a lovely
Not so
place.
much, actually. Not so much. Only mainland Greece,
Mm.
and short day trips to some of the islands occasionally. But I haven't really spent any time on them. My
I
best
went
mate in Athens, Sotiris, he does I think almost every year he does a holiday on one of the islands, and I've been meaning to get down there while he and his family are doing that and go with them, but never managed.
one of my cousins works on one of the islands during the summer, and I have actually first cousins in Athens as well
Okay,
as Thessaloniki. I've only been once when I was no twice. I was two, so I don't remember the first time. But
sure.
I was 11 and I hated it. Wow, I thought that was
It
so backwards compared to Australia. This was in the 70s. Okay, so
Yeah,
keep
in the
that in mind.
70s they probably
It was
were. Yeah,
very different then.
yeah,
The only thing I liked about Greece, visiting, and mind you, my parents were dragging me, my mum was dragging me from doctor to doctor, hoping that they'd cure me. But the only thing I really liked were all the ruins, all the ancient.
yeah,
Yeah, I loved that stuff. That was my
yeah.
favorite thing.
It's amazing all of the history they've got just sitting around.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
pretty stunning. We went
and
to a
you are welcome anytime you come here. You tell me.
the
And
first time I
I'll
was there, when I met Sotiris, he and his family took us out to, and some other friends took us out to a restaurant that was on the coast, and it was kind of right next to an old temple ruin. And
yeah.
we're just sitting outside eating this
I
amazing seafood, drinking nice cold beer, and you look over there, it's the sunset. You look over there, and it's like a temple from ancient Greece.
You didn't have
Um,
ouzo
it's
instead of
amazing. I
dinner?
hate ouzo. I hate
Me
ouzo.
too. I don't like aniseed, so I can't
No, I don't
stand.
either. High five for
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
I
high
hate
five.
aniseed. Yeah.
Me too, the smell, I can't
Licorice, all
stand
of
it.
that
Ugh,
stuff.
yeah,
Forget it.
no. What about retsina? You didn't have some retsina?
Retsina, if you know what Retsina is, you just instinctively don't want to drink it. Retsina is white wine with pine sap added to it as a preservative.
It's really, really
That
dry
is
too.
disgusting.
Yeah, it's
And it
really dry.
tastes horrible. I hate Retsina. It's awful.
There are some better. I mean, we used to get it all the time. My dad used to love it, so we would buy it here because we have such a large Greek population in Melbourne. We have a lot of authentic Greek foods,
Yeah,
but
sure.
I never like going to restaurants because my mum was the best Greek cook I've ever seen, and she's very well known throughout our family and extended family has been the best. She used to make spanakopita, which is
I love spanakopita.
pita. Yeah, she makes it from scratch. She makes her own pita. And I used to take, or it's not just spanakopita, she used to do with cheese and lots of other things, spring onions. And every time I went to uni, not in high school, they used to mock us for eating Greek food. But when
Sure.
I went to uni or work, everyone was like, "Can I have some? Can I have some? Can I have some?" They just loved it.
Yeah. No, I love eating in Greece.
Mm.
It's there's There's okay Greek food in Berlin. Berlin's super international.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of people who are like first generation and really are cooking the way they do at home. But Germans in general have really bland taste.
Mm,
And all of the
mm,
ethnic foods generally kind of adapt to wherever they are.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like I had Chinese food in Lithuania once, and everything you got was super sweet. Everything. Like they didn't have anything on the menu that wasn't super sweet. It
Genuine
was really weird.
Chinese is not sweet.
No, no, no. I've
One
been
of
to
my
Hong Kong.
closest
I've been
friends
to
is
some
Chinese.
really very authentic Chinese restaurants in Hong
Yeah.
Kong,
Yeah.
and
One
that
of my
was
closest
totally
friends
different.
is Chinese, and she took us to authentic Chinese restaurants
Yeah,
in Melbourne. Plus, she would also cook for us. I said, "That's nothing like what we get." And she said, "Yeah, no, this is all westernized. This is
yeah,
authentic. It's
yeah.
quite different, and it's not sweet generally,
No,
anyway."
no,
Yeah.
no.
So
Yeah,
I'm
no.
going to
It's
ask all of you guys, what are you currently reading?
what is everybody reading? I am also curious.
I'm still reading Handmaid's Tale. I have about
I'm
100 pages to go.
I'm only I don't
I think
know 20 pages into Ogres. And it's already a really interesting setup.
I've heard
It
it's really good.
it starts out sounding very much like a medieval story
Mhm.
or a maybe fantasy story, but
Mm,
then things keep popping up here and there where you're like, okay, that's not at all medieval, and that's not at all medieval. So I'm thinking it'll reveal itself as something entirely different, but I haven't
ah,
gotten very far yet.
I think there might be one I'll read actually at some point because it's a novella as well. I'm also reading the Tyrant Philosopher series. A lot of things.
Ah,
Yeah, I see. I read all.
where are you?
I've only read the first, but
Okay,
I haven't had time to get into any of these series. There's several
we're
that I've only read the first book,
we're
but I
parallel
will.
there again because
Yeah,
I've only read the
yeah,
first one.
both chances.
I've
Yeah.
got 2 copies of House of Open Wounds. Um, Tchaikovsky sent me one, which was nice of him, and a viewer sent me one, which is the first time that's ever happened to me on my channel. As you
Oh,
will probably also know, like all these American YouTubers, Americans send them books all the time. I'm in Germany, but I do it in English, so no Germans watch my channel, and
yeah.
nobody outside of Germany wants to send me a book, understandably. So
I think it's a bit complicated to do it through Amazon.
actually, it's really easy. Like, not that I'm encouraging people to send me books necessarily, but you can go onto Amazon DE, the German Amazon. You can view it in English,
Mm.
and you could order a book from there and have it sent
It's
to me.
not. It's not that. I think what happens is like when I've sent some books to a friend of mine in the States, not all the books on her wish list are available for me to purchase in Australia for her. I know, don't I don't know how it works. So that can be an issue that perhaps not all the books are available for us in other countries. It shouldn't make a
If
difference because it should
if
be
you're
through
logged
your.
in, if you're
Yeah.
logged into the American Amazon, you can buy anything they have.
Well, that's what I thought.
It doesn't know you're in Australia if you're logged
I
into
know.
the American
Well, that's what
Amazon.
I thought,
Yeah.
but
Try it
I
again. That sounds like maybe you
tried
were
again, and maybe I screwed up. Very
somewhere in
possible.
the wrong place or something.
Well,
But
it's a
yeah,
bit
no, it's
complicated how to do it, but yeah,
yeah,
I'll try it again.
yeah.
Ogres is Wild. Yes, I think who
I've
was it
heard
who read
that.
it? Carlos loved it. Yeah, he loved
Yeah.
it. That's right.
I think it's got a real fight the power kind of vibe, and that's 100% Carlos.
Mm, mm. I
Definitely his jam.
can't remember Windhaven. I think I might have read it because I think I might
Windhaven,
even
I
have it.
have not read. I don't
I
know.
think
I
I've
don't even
got
know
it.
what Windhaven is.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I've got it. Sometimes I
Rogue
forget.
is 25% through Speaking Bones. Yeah, I really need to get to the Dandelion Dynasty. I've got
He's
all of them
really
on my
lucky.
shelf. Yeah.
Nothing has caught your attention. Madam Vader, continue with Dresden because you're so close to the end. That's my advice anyway.
Yeah, and Dresden's always fun.
Yeah, but she's really close. I think she's on the last 2 books now, so yeah.
I read like I think the first 8 really quickly, but
Mm.
at the time that was all that was out. August?
Are you
I would
coming to Australia, Jerome? What do you say? What are you asking if the weather's okay? Because August is freezing
yeah, August is
unless you go to the north.
midwinter.
Unless you go to the
Um
north, which is
yeah.
Queensland, or if you go to Western Australia.
My question when people tell me they want to go to Australia is always, do you want landscape and animals or do you want people and culture?
Yes.
Because
Or do
it's
you want
very,
both?
very, or both, of course. But generally, people want to concentrate on one or the other.
Yeah.
And people or culture, I would say, go to Sydney, go to Melbourne. Pretty much everything else you can ignore.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just not
Yeah,
that much culture in
no,
the other cities. There is
no,
some but nowhere
yeah,
near as much as Melbourne and Sydney
it's
have.
concentrated very much in Sydney and Melbourne.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're
Great food too.
both awesome cities with awesome food and amazing views. Although Sydney
Coffee.
has much better views.
You guys have better views, but we have fantastic food and
Yeah,
a lot more
your
culture,
food
I
scene
think.
and
Yeah.
art scene, I would say, are better.
Yes.
And Sydney's pub music scene and
Party.
landscape and
Party.
partying and parks, nature is much better around Sydney.
Thank you so
With
much,
the
Francesca.
harbour and the park and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
Sydney is beautiful to look at. I did
yeah,
not like staying there. I find Melbourne is more laid back in many
totally,
ways,
totally.
and I really like that about it. But it really depends, Jerome, on what you're after. If you want to see some of the nature and not freeze your butt off, then wait a few months and come when it's a
Yeah,
little bit warmer. You don't have
even
to
if
come
you're
in
even if you're
too
even if you're
hot.
just going to the cities, I would not recommend Sydney or Melbourne in August.
No,
It's pretty much
yeah,
the worst time to
yeah.
go to Australia. I'd wait for 3 months. Spring can be really nice, although in Sydney it
Spring
can
is
rain a
really
fair
nice.
bit.
Autumn is
Um,
also really nice.
yeah,
So from March to May,
yeah,
well, this autumn it's been like goddamn summer. It's been so warm without being excessively hot. But
nice.
spring, mid-spring to early December or March or late March to maybe May, they're cooler weather where you won't burn up. Besides,
Yeah,
you'll need lots
basically avoid the middle of winter and avoid the middle of summer. And
of.
otherwise, Australia's pretty awesome. Like in spring and autumn, it's great.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, we're used to our summer, but yeah, I think you would be better off coming when it's not so hot.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for
yeah.
someone,
Yeah, March, April is really, really nice because that's then autumn
yeah,
and the heat's coming down. It's a bit cooler and yeah, especially Melbourne is really nice in autumn. I
yeah,
love Melbourne in autumn.
yeah, we're really nice in autumn.
Yeah, I'd recommend visiting Uluru and the Olgas,
Yeah,
Jerome.
yes, you should
But
also try the
you definitely don't want to do that in summer.
no,
I
no, you
almost
do
got
not want to go in the outback in the middle of summer because it'll get
I
to 50
I
degrees
did once.
Celsius.
I
No,
did
don't do
once
that.
and hiked all the way around Uluru, and I almost got fatal heat stroke.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's
I passed
ridiculous.
out as soon as I got back in my car and was like passed out in my car for 2 hours.
Now, you
Yeah,
could go to the northern part of Australia in August and then come down in September to the southern part and the eastern side, because you could go to the Northern Territory and to Uluru and parts of Western Australia. But yeah, it's not warm. August is freezing here.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have snow, so it's not like, I don't know.
It's
if you
not
have,
freezing like in Europe.
no, but it's still
No.
bloody cold.
It's
Thank you,
extremely
Francesca.
cold for Australians.
Yeah.
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 Which is like 10 degrees, Jerome. It's not that cold actually, but it's cold enough that it's not fun for tourism.
I
Yeah.
can get to below zero in.
Yeah, but that's
at
because you live in Melbourne, and Melbourne's like a place nobody should live.
Oh, rubbish. I love Melbourne. I mean, I've been
I
to
love
several of the cities, and I must admit I'm very partial to Melbourne. And of course, part of it is because I grew up here, but it's also
Yeah.
just got so many things that I love. I actually
I was
like
just
different seasons.
I was just expressing the typical Sydney Melbourne
Yes, you were.
animosity.
Did you mainly stay in Sydney, or
I
did
grew
you
up
live
in
in
I grew up in
Canberra?
Canberra. I grew up in
Yeah,
Canberra, but when I
Canberra's the
went
most
back to
boring
Australia,
city in the whole of Australia.
Canberra's awful. Jerome, whatever you do, whenever you come, don't bother going to Canberra. It's not worth it.
It's really not worth it.
It's my home city, and I'm telling you, just like skip it.
It's really not worth it.
When I went back to Australia, the place I lived by choice was Sydney.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, people either go Sydney or they go Melbourne. They usually don't.
if I came back now, I would probably move to Melbourne.
I think you'd like it better.
Yeah, well, I had a girlfriend in Melbourne, and I was down there every 2 weeks for like 2 years. And I like Melbourne a lot. Just at that time in my life, like I moved there when I was in my 30s, I was much more interested in exciting and
Partying,
interesting stuff to do and all of that.
and
Melbourne is
partying.
Melbourne is much more relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, we do have also the pub scene. We have the music pub scene and all of that. But we also have a lot of galleries. We have a lot of theatre. We have a lot of other stuff, which Sydney also does have to some degree. But
the art scene in Melbourne is much better.
Yeah, that's what they say.
I would say the pub music scene is more active in Sydney, but the art scene is better in Melbourne.
Yes. Yeah.
Jeroen, no.
Yes, don't listen to him. Yeah, no, try Hobart. Tasmania is
Hobart's
stunning,
interesting.
Stunning city. Brisbane,
Adelaide,
not so much, but Cairns is better because you also have the rainforests and things like that. Adelaide, it's known for its churches, and honestly, it's not that great, but it's
boring
a nice. Yeah, it can be boring. Yeah,
there's no reason for a tourist to go to Adelaide unless you're really in love with churches.
Yeah, because it's famous for its churches. But yeah,
but if you're from Europe, where there are billions of story tube in the house.
Yes,
hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we totally forgot because we're enjoying the sunshine. And then I was like, wasn't that today?
So how are you doing? How's your day been? What are you intending to do today? Or is your day nearly over? I can't remember the time zone.
We're somewhere in the middle of it. It's 20, it's 4:45. So we've mostly just been on the balcony absorbing as much sun as humanly possible.
Nice.
Wonderful.
It's about 22 degrees Celsius when it's May in Dublin, which is very strange. So we're making the most of it.
Crazy. Yeah.
Is that actually not warm? Is that too high for that time of year? Because I don't know what the temperatures are like in Dublin.
I would say it's abnormally warm for this time of year.
It is warmer than it usually would be. Yeah.
Whenever the weather in Ireland is above 20, like you gotta take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's when
and not raining.
Yes.
Well, it's May here. It is. In a few weeks, it's winter, and we had a 27 degrees Celsius day, and we never get that in May. The weather is just all over the place, everywhere.
Crazy.
But,
yeah. So today in Berlin, the high was 18, so not quite enough to actually be excited. You know, it's like it's still kind of chilly.
Yeah,
I
could sit out on the balcony, but I need a jumper. So
that's not good.
No.
Well, then that's Melbourne. We need to always have a cardigan or a jumper, even in the middle of summer, because we get 4 seasons in one day.
That song by Crowded House is about Melbourne. It is. It's literally about Melbourne. They lived in Melbourne at the time when they wrote it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd always heard this. And then I went down to Melbourne and I was with my German girlfriend. We were visiting Australia, thinking about moving there together. So I'm sort of showing off my country. And the first day we were in Melbourne, it was beautiful, just radiant sunshine. And we went out and we got to almost where we were going and it started hailing.
Yeah.
Like that. It's like it just turned black and started hailing. So we hid in a cafe. And the hail stopped after half an hour. And we came outside and it was sunny again, but it was freezing cold. Like, what's going on? And then it started raining. And then it got sunny and hot again. And then it started hailing again, all in one day. Literally 4 seasons in one day.
I have actually walked in the city between one street and the next where I got soaked. It rained so hard. By the time I got to the next street, I was dry because it was that hot. And it was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah.
Melbourne's weird.
Yeah, Melbourne's weird. We're known for it. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. So how have you guys been doing?
Very good. I was just going to say, I still can't wrap my head around Christmas in summertime down there.
Whereas I can't wrap my head around Christmas in winter because I've only known barbecues for Christmas.
Although when Kath and I were growing up, when we were kids in Australia, most of the Christmas culture was actually imported sort of from America. So you'd still have pictures of Santa Claus wearing furs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And you look at him and you're like, mate, you're going to die of heat stroke wearing all that. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So it's not Santa at the barbecue?
Yeah, exactly. Wearing board shorts and nothing else.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
We've been known to go to the beach on Christmas Day because
it was a tradition. It was a tradition in Sydney. We went to the beach every Christmas.
Yeah, because it's so close too. We have
you'd have like a cold Christmas lunch and then go to the beach. That was sort of Christmas tradition.
Yeah. So very different, right? Yeah.
Quite different.
So what are you guys reading at the moment?
I am reading God, what's it called?
The Stardust Thief.
The Stardust Thief. By Chelsea Abdullah, which I'm actually really enjoying. I'm like halfway through. Yeah.
And then are you, Yolanda, going to now tell us what Carlos is reading?
Sure. Yeah. Will I announce what you're reading?
Sure.
He's reading Bone Hunters.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's right.
Yeah. So
you read one book generally, don't you? Or do you read several books?
Me?
Either of you.
I tend to read multiple books at once, and I find Malazan is very conducive to reading like that because you read a chapter, you want to sit with it, it's a lot, so then I read something smaller. I can read an entire book while I'm digesting one chapter of Malazan, you know? So I just finished yesterday a book called Minor Detail by Adania Shibli, which was only like 112 pages.
Great book.
It is 2 chapters, like 50 pages each-ish. And the first chapter is from the perspective of an unnamed IDF soldier in 1949. It's a pretty rough book.
Irish? Is IDF Irish?
No, Israeli Defense Forces.
Israeli. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's just after the Israeli-Arab War in 1949. Let's just say they do something very unsavory to a Palestinian woman. And then the second chapter is about a Palestinian woman in modern day reading about this and becoming obsessed with the minor details of that story. And that's all I'll say about that.
Okay.
It's a really good book.
It sounds also really hard hitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can write a story about Israel and Palestine that isn't rough.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
If you're being realistic about what you're writing. It's I went to Israel. I've been to Israel a couple of times, and the first time I was there, I was just like constantly like this. Like, Israelis are really intense. I like them. I like the Israelis a lot, but they're super intense. And everybody I met knew someone who'd been blown up.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
It's depressing.
And everybody I met had been in the army and had at least trained intensely to kill people.
Yeah.
If not actually killed people.
Yeah, like the second chapter of the book is just like everything that is so normal to this character, like getting on a bus, being checked with people with guns, and it's like, don't react, they won't do anything, but like somebody pointing a gun at you, it's a good book. Minor detail.
It's a very good book, yeah.
Minor
I should have
detail.
looked at it, especially as it's a short book too.
I heard, Carlos, that you really liked Ogres. I'm reading Ogres. Started it this morning.
We both love Ogres.
Both of you read it. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
It's an interesting start. I've kind of stayed away from any information about it, and so far I'm like, this is kind of medieval. And they're like, oh, wait a sec, there's a detail that definitely is not medieval. And I'm getting like these little reveals along the way that Tchaikovsky does so well. Yeah,
it's a very clever novella. It's definitely the right move, I think, to not really know anything about it, because everything you tell people is a spoiler. But yeah, I had that experience reading it. Like, you start out and you're like, okay, I want to situate myself. What's the vibe here? Like, what level of like technology, not technology, like where are we? And then you think and then he gives you something, you're like, oh, okay, readjust. It's very good.
I've got like, I always do this, like you start getting a little bit and you're like, okay, theory, I have a theory about what this is about.
I love,
like you said, like 5 pages later you're like, well, that theory's bullshit, that's not going to work. Okay.
I do that in Manga too, all the time. I'm always theorizing about certain aspects and where the story is going to go, and I think I've been correct maybe once or twice throughout most of the books.
Although Malazan is at least very clear about what kind of book it is from the very beginning. It's like, this is fantasy. There are dragons, there is magic, people are swinging swords, and that never changes.
But that's also kind of cool that you don't know what it is and that you're discovering it as you go.
I love it. I'm really enjoying. I mean, I've already figured out I love Adrian Tchaikovsky. And I'm really, really enjoying this novella.
I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on
it. Yeah, well, you didn't like Guns of Dawn. What else have you read?
City of Lost Chances.
I
liked Guns of the Dawn. I didn't love it. And City of Lost Chances I liked, but I didn't love it again. So I thought, I haven't read anything of his that's really grabbed me yet, and decided, he's somebody I'm going to love. But I have got his Final Architecture series.
That is...
I haven't read that yet. And I've also got Children of Time, which my friend just borrowed today. So I've got a few things. Plus I've got The Tyrant Philosophers, the next two. So I'm going to read those and see. Maybe I will be converted.
I had a similar, and I found it kind of weird, a similar experience with City of Lost Chances, because I loved the writing. I loved the world building. I thought the characters were really interested, and I wasn't at any point particularly hooked on it. Like, I kept reading like a chapter or two a day and just never really sat down and went, oh my God, I have to know what happens next. I'm really into it. It just never really got to that point. People say House of Open Wounds is very different though.
Yes, that's what I've heard as well. I know Evie loves it, and I know that I think Alan loved it as well. And from all accounts, it's supposed to be better than the first. So I do want to see it. Yeah. Okay. You prefer his novellas over his novels, Rogue. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say that. I've read what's it called? The first thing I read by him was one of his novellas, and I liked it, but I definitely liked Dogs of War and Final Architecture more.
It may not be for me. I mean, that's the thing. You want to love what all your friends love. And then you realize, oh, I kind of don't. And I don't know what's wrong with me. But
I think he has a vastly different writing style in each book, though. So, like,
yeah,
you could find one.
He's very flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's talent, though, to be able to write both fantasy and science fiction.
And 4 or 5 books a year.
And 4 or 5 books a year. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he's extremely talented. It's just I haven't really fallen in love with writing.
He writes so much, he forgets himself how many books he puts out.
Yeah.
Like when I interviewed him, I was like, so what have you got this year? And he was like, 4 books, this, and this. And then like 5 minutes later, he was like, oh, wait a sec. Oh, I also wrote a Warhammer novel. For 5. Like, okay, a Warhammer novel.
Oh, yeah, he also writes in the Warhammer tie-in
He's a
book.
huge Warhammer 40K nerd, just apart from writing. And he said when he was here in Berlin, he was like, I can't really afford to, but I would almost write those for free. They're really just a hobby.
Yeah.
Just because he's so into it, you know.
But he's also such a talented writer who can write so many books, whereas most people, it takes them several years. So obviously he doesn't consider it a chore to write at all.
No.
Yeah.
A bit like King, who can just churn them out.
Crank them out, yeah.
Yeah, crank them out. And then we have others who can't crank them out at all. And you wait and wait and wait. And yeah, it takes years for them to write. I think that in itself too is a real talent, to be able to write consistently and so many books. You have to admire that. And I do admire him. I just want to love some of his books. And who knows?
Elder
maybe I
Race.
will.
Jeroen remembered the novella I read first. Yeah, Elder Race,
Okay.
which I really liked. It has a really interesting sort of twist. It's like Ogres in that at the beginning you think it's this kind of novel or novella, and then about halfway through you're like, oh, it's actually this kind of, you know, there's a big switch twist kind of thing.
Nice.
But I really enjoyed it.
And he's also written horror, has he?
I didn't actually realize that.
Yeah, well, which one's Capricious Fox? Let us know.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I love horror. Yeah.
So I started his latest release. I put it down to read other things, but I'll probably get back to it. He came out with a book recently called Shroud. And it is very, very Lovecraft horror inspired, but it is this planet that a little spaceship of humans are going to investigate for, like, is it habitable? Is it not? The typical thing. But the planet is shrouded in darkness. They can't really tell what's going on. Like satellite doesn't really penetrate the atmosphere or whatever. And it seems to be some kind of sentient atmosphere.
Oh.
And there's one probe that makes it through, and they get some images, and there's like metal tentacles. And that is as far as that's as far as I got in the book, because I was reading like 3 other things, but I have it on the coffee table now to maybe pick back up. But that's been quite cool so far.
I always ask myself in stories like that, wouldn't you just go, nah, we're not going there. This is too much trouble.
But I want to read about people, the insane people that think that and do it anyway.
yeah. You want to have an interesting story, which it wouldn't be if they went home.
But not just that. I mean, that's why we have explorers who go out and search for the unusual, because that in itself would be so fascinating to see something so bizarre as
Yeah,
metal tentacles. Now I want to read it after you've said that, because it sounds really good. We were being asked.
Capricious Fox, the latest comment. I would say it almost doesn't matter, because he writes so many different things in so many different genres and so many different styles that anything you read is not going to be representative of everything. Like, it's just not possible. But he has a lot of really good novellas. Like Elder Race is awesome. Ogres is awesome from what I've heard. But so far, I'm liking it. And they're like low commitment, easy, quick reads. He's got lots of those. You know.
Yeah. Pick a premise that sounds good to you, and
he's probably got a book on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who's been coming in, wishing me or congratulating me on the 5 years. I really appreciate all of you for coming. Yeah.
Yeah, congrats on 5 years. When was the switch from plant tube to book tube?
I'd say it was about 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did plants for about 2 years. I actually got really involved in the plant community, but I found there was so few things I could talk about, really. After a while, I was done, and I thought, and I was doing other content. I was also doing movie reviews, and I was talking about NASA's, because I wanted to share my experience and a couple of other things. And in the end, I thought, I'm running out of content with the plants, and people kept asking me about my books because they could see them in my videos. And they got me to reading again on a regular basis, because I'd kind of stopped and I wasn't reading all that much for about 10 years. But they wanted me to talk about my favorite fantasy. So I did. And I thought, oh, I want to reread that. And I want to reread that. So it seemed natural to come and start talking about books. Yeah. But basically, I just did it on my own. I really didn't know any other YouTube creators until the last 6 or so months. It was just me tuning out my videos week after week. And yeah, and I thought, yeah, I need to meet a few other YouTubers. And it's the best thing I've done recently. Yeah, joining the Discord and getting to chat to people. That's been fantastic. Other than my subscribers, because they're the reason you do it, right? Because they come back and they watch and they comment and they love what you do and they connect with you and give you great recommendations, and sometimes disagree with you, sometimes agree with you, but I love that community that I've built, and it's so rewarding to know that people like what you do, that you're not wasting your time doing videos, because I would never have thought I'd be doing this after 5 years. I thought I'd be done, by now, but there you go. What about you guys? Yolanda, Carlos, how long has your channel been on? I can't recall now.
2 years.
Two and a bit,
yeah, I think one of our first videos was a March 2023 wrap up. So just over 2 years.
Yeah. We kind
of too. I did watch that. Yeah.
We kind of did it the sort of in the opposite direction, because we had joined some of the Discords first and like had been subscribed to a few people for a good while before like deciding to make a channel, and it was really just talking to Jimmy and Alan, really. Both Jimmy and Alan sort of were like the final push of like, oh, maybe it would be cool to have a channel.
I think it was the first major and final push, to be honest. We talked about having a channel for years. I think we discovered BookTube in 2021, like late pandemic. And then I guess like knew BookTube for 2 years, and then like a year into that, like joined Discord and stuff. and then
I had decided to really branch out more into fantasy at the time. It's like I read a bit of everything, but I think I'd neglected fantasy for the longest time. And I wanted to get back in, and I discovered that, I mean, fantasy booktube is such a huge corner of booktube in general.
Mhm.
So I think that's how we discovered everything. But inevitably, what maybe started as a channel sort of delving into fantasy a little deeper, all my other tastes came back around. So now the channel is we just read books. So we changed our wrap-ups to like books. This is just books.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Books.
but I think it's wonderful that people from all around the world are able to start a channel,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because it always felt to me before I started YouTube that it's such an American thing. I thought it's mainly YouTubers from America, and I didn't really feel that, I connected with them. And I actually didn't even watch YouTube. I just used YouTube for instructional videos. And
Yeah.
then I started watching it in 2020 during the pandemic, and I thought, oh, there's real community. It's really changed over the years into something a lot more than just a very unique or niche little group. The ability to find channels from all around the world, and that's one of my favorite things, actually, is I have friends. I have a very good friend who has a plant channel who I've been talking to from 2020. He's in Serbia, and we still chat today. And I found your channel, and you guys are in Ireland, and there are other channels there's Matt, who's in Germany, even though I consider him half Australian anyway. But there's nothing. I'm not trying to say that there aren't some wonderful channels from the States, but sometimes you can feel it's saturated with American channels, and I like to see people from
I
other
agree.
countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I love the best, is how universal it's become, that anyone can have a channel wherever you are, if you want to, as long as you have a camera. Yeah.
I've never actually, like, I find that I talk so much more about being Irish and Spanish in this circle
Do
because
you?
there's so many American people on YouTube that you just find yourself sort of going like, oh, well, it's actually kind of different here. And then you just get into the conversation, and all the cultural differences just naturally pop up, because you'll notice somebody says something from a distinctly American perspective. And when you're sitting down to watch BookTube, generally, it's not like it's just an echo chamber and they say whatever, and it's something that needs to be disagreed with or whatever. But like, somebody will just say something that's kind of considered, yeah, that's how it is. That's a consensus here in America. But then maybe people living in Australia or the UK or Central Europe will have a different perspective on the tiniest thing. And it kind of was one of those other reasons to just start a channel as well,
Mhm.
That was the reason I did the plants, because I always saw videos on how to look after plants for people living in America, which has a completely different climate to Australia. And
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, this doesn't apply to us because of this or this. So, it's good, though, to have those different perspectives, not just about plants or books, but just world perspectives and cultural differences, which you can share on your channel. Otherwise, it feels like it's just the one thing. So I really love having that diversity on YouTube. It's my favorite thing anyway. Well, one of my favorite things. Yeah.
I agree. And I think, obviously, like, YouTube is vast in terms of the types of content that is out there, and like there's shorts as well and stuff like that. But because it lends itself so well to long form content, and even just content that's like, even if it's like 10 or 15 minutes, right? It's still longer than anything that you're getting on any other social media, like image video based platform. So when you get these diverse perspectives, you're actually engaging with those perspectives because you're listening to people talk for a longer period of time. You get that sense of community, especially like on like corners like BookTube, where you get to engage with people in the comments and people are generally very nice. And then you get to collaborate with other people and you're actually talking to each other. So it's not just, I think,
which is probably the best part, honestly.
it is, yeah. Like I think with like social media, like there's a lot of negative things that we talk about, but when social media is talked about positively, if we talk about like how you like other people on the other side of the world are more accessible, right? But I think that is nowhere I find that to be as deep of a connection as on YouTube, compared to like other online spaces.
I agree with that.
People actually talk and engage.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Especially when you do stuff like this.
Yeah,
I mean, this is one of the things very early when I started doing my channel. I was like, I want to do chats with people. I want to actually get to know these people whose videos I keep watching because they seem interesting and they have interesting views, and we might agree or disagree or have a good discussion. And I did, like, for a while I was doing, like, every month I did Friends with Books, where I just get somebody or Friends on Books, where I get somebody I didn't know. You know, every time it was somebody I didn't really know that well, and I get them in and have a live chat, and that especially is much more connecting, like you said, than something like Twitter or Blue Sky,
Instagram or Instagram
or
yeah. I don't know TikTok. I've never been on it, and I have no intention of going on it. But yeah,
I don't tick or talk.
I like that. I don't tick or talk. Yeah,
No, uninterested in the ticking and the talking.
Well, I know some people were saying that YouTube was kind of dying because of TikTok and because of Instagram Reels. And I thought,
not true.
Yeah, that's what I think. But there was a lot of talk at some point that YouTube was going to die, that people have such short attention spans that they're only interested in short content. And
look at the billions of hours of videos viewed on TikTok on YouTube every 10 minutes. Yeah. I mean, people are watching long form.
There'll also always be a craving for a longer discussion or a longer engagement, a deeper engagement with something than just a 10-second thing on TikTok, which, like, I honestly have nothing against TikTok as a concept. I don't like the algorithm thing, and I don't like
the algorithm thing. I don't care about the algorithm. It can go stuff itself. I really don't give a shit about the algorithm.
Amen.
Sorry. I feel very strongly about it. I feel like if you try to cater to the algorithm, you're not going to be true to yourself. You're going to be creating content you're not enjoying, and your audience won't enjoy because they know you're not liking it. Whereas I like talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And if people don't watch, so be it. Yeah. But hopefully they want to watch. Hopefully. Yeah.
I agree.
But I get too that there are some people who are looking to grow their channels. One of my friends, he relies on income from his channel. So he has to some degree, cater to the algorithm. But it's also such a finicky thing that you think, okay, I think this should appeal to the algorithm, and it doesn't. Then you bring out a video and you think, I don't know why the hell this one has blown up. You know, nothing else is blown up. It's so unpredictable. And
it's also just a platform. I mean, like, YouTube is just a stage, and people can put on whatever they want to put on that stage, you know? So I think it's safe to say, like, all three of us and most of our BookTube friends, we're just being ourselves and talking about something we love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's
we're
not a
not
performance.
performing.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like, I've met people through YouTube and been surprised at who they actually were. Who they are on their channel is a character. Right? They are performing a character for the views, for the likes, for the subscriptions.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe because they're actually trying to support themselves by performing. So it's not a bad thing or an invalid thing. It's just like they're doing a different YouTube than we're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Look, I have no gripe with people looking to grow their channel and catering to the algorithm if they wish to. I just want people to be true to themselves as much as they can be. Yeah. That's what I'd like anyway.
Yeah, those are certainly the kind of people on YouTube that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
If I get too much of a hint of like pretending to be something or whatever, I'm like, it's
I'll click off
just
immediately.
not very interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's just a part of my like utopian naive brain that just wishes none of these platforms had an algorithm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I
Then
mean,
they couldn't exist.
Yeah. But like functioning in the way that it currently functions, I think it's gotten worse because like
what the Rogue was saying about catering or appealing to advertisers. Yeah. I think though that's the proliferation of advertising throughout our lives. It seems to be in everything. I was turning on my computer and I have Windows and I had the screensaver and there's little ads all over it. And I thought, why the hell do I have ads on this? I've paid for this software. And it's like, I'm so tired of advertising on every platform in every form. You can't get away from it. So it's not surprising that it also applies to YouTube.
Yeah.
It's obviously what keeps it going, you know, it's how it makes its money.
It's also how like creators make money.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm aware of that. And I think that's fair enough if you're looking to make money on YouTube for your income. Like my friend, he's totally reliant on his channel to survive. So yeah, I think that's
and I
fair.
also think having the YouTube subscription thing, because for me personally, YouTube is now my TV. We don't have regular TV channels anymore. I have YouTube, and we now have YouTube Premium, which for years I was like, no, I'm not paying for YouTube Premium. I'll stick it through the ads. And then you sit down and you realize, okay, we actually use YouTube more than Netflix.
Yeah.
So why don't we just get YouTube Premium? You know?
How many minutes of ads did I watch this week?
Yeah.
Is that worth paying to not do?
Yeah. No, that's understandable. A lot of people have been saying that actually in comments that they no longer watch TV, that YouTube is their new TV.
Yeah.
I guess we are the reality TV stars. I hate using that word, but yeah. Well, we're just regular people, right? Who happen to love books and happen to be able to talk in front of a camera. But ultimately, I'm the same in person as I am on my channel. And I think those people that I love to watch seem to be the same way. We're just normal people. We're not stars or actors or performers. We're just people who love talking about a subject, whatever it is. Yeah.
I think
Philip Chase is a star.
Sorry?
Philip Chase is a star.
Is he?
But we're not. We're not.
Philip Chase has the jawline of a Hollywood actor, all right, doesn't he?
I reckon you could say that about Jimmy too. He is a star.
Jimmy's not a
True.
star. I'll say it right now. Jimmy is not.
Jimmy's
a
a broken down ex wrestler. He's not a star.
Someone tell him. Someone tell him he's not a star.
I mean that he has that persona, that charisma, that he could be seen as a star.
I mean, he certainly has performing for crowds in his past. So
yes. But he's also like his channel is so, you know, his lives are so polished. I just love the way he does his lives. There's
unbelievable.
He's gotten very good at it. Yeah.
Gotten very good at it.
He is also like, and it's how I discovered or like really got into BookTube really, or like watching it as regular TV. is I was craving the long form, real human discussions, and he is the best at that on Chatting with Nuts. Like the ability that he has to navigate the chat and keep a conversation flowing that feels natural, where people can talk about various things, not even just books. He just talks about whatever, with people that agree, don't agree. He makes a point of bringing on people that he doesn't necessarily see eye to eye with as well, but having a genuine good conversation with them.
Yeah. He's a
he's-
conversationalist.
Yeah.
Not everyone is. Not everyone is comfortable having conversations with lots of people unless it's about a specific subject, but he obviously enjoys a good conversation. I think he's somebody that if you take him to a party, he'll be able to chat up anyone because he's just relaxed about it. Well, that's the impression you get anyway from his channel.
He's the same in person as he is on the camera.
I'm not
I've
surprised.
said too many nice things about him now. He's got a big forehead.
He does. And what's with shaving only the side of your head? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Poser.
Yeah. Now, I thought this was an interesting question. Is BookTube about books or is it about stories, no matter the format?
Don't be silly, Thornall. Of course it's about books. It's in the name. Jesus.
I was thinking that too, but I'm guessing he's saying, does it matter what format the story is?
Thornall's a pub regular. I'm just giving him a hard time, which I think I'm allowed to do with all pub regulars. I've earned it.
Jimmy connects the community very nicely. Yes.
True.
Who is Mandark? Where do I know that name from?
I do
you have
not
to tell us, Donald.
Probably a manga character or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Do you guys read manga?
Not really. I've tried it, but
yeah, I didn't. I tried some last year, the year before, and I was like, this is like not really for me. But I actually this last week I started Attack on Titan on Jimmy's recommendation. And since I mentioned it, I like started reading it and I was really liking it. So I mentioned it to a couple of friends just casually, like, hey, I started reading manga. And everybody was like, oh my God, like people that I didn't know read manga necessarily or watched anime. And they were like, that one's amazing. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm really enjoying it. I read the first omnibus and I also watched an episode of the anime. And you looked at me like,
I was like,
through a second head.
you watch anime? Not that I have anything against it at all.
Just surprising.
Just like, you've never done this before.
I know, it was good. It was good. It's a very fun concept. So yeah, I guess the answer is TBD. But currently reading one, so we'll see.
I've tried 5 or 6 of the biggest series that I hear talked about online. And honestly, none of them really stuck. I think the one that I enjoyed the most was Monster.
And Uzumaki, right?
Yeah, that's like a short one. Uzumaki I thought was really good actually. But you know, I find for me, big thing is dialogue. Dialogue needs to feel authentic and natural and like well written. And I find a lot of the dialogue in the series that I've read is either very exposition heavy or at times a little juvenile, in my opinion.
Yeah. I tried JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
A friend asked me to try it, and I think I read the first arc, and I thought, not my thing at all.
Yeah.
Didn't really like it. So no, Francesca, I have not read the graphic novels, nor am I going to. Yeah, it's just not my thing. I have read some of the Buffy, I think they're graphic novels by Joss Whedon, who created the show. I've read a couple of those. And again, I thought, I love this character. I love this show, but yeah, not really my thing. No.
There's probably, like, obviously manga is a form of comics, but just from Japan. There's cultural differences in the storytelling, and there's cultural differences in European comics versus American comics and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's also just so vast that, like,
I know. Where do you start?
where do you
If you do
find
want to try it.
yeah. And it's kind of
It's-
something that
Thank you.
if you grew
A
up
lot-
reading it, it's easier.
I did
A
read
lot of
comics.
the
I read the Archies and all of that.
Yeah.
Very old comics now, but back in the day, it used to be Archie and I can't remember who the other is.
Beano? You got Beanos?
No, we didn't have that.
No.
We had like, oh, no, it doesn't matter. But they were very old comics back. We're talking the 70s here, so that tells you how old I am. But I never liked them even then. I always preferred books, even as a child. So I think it's just not for everyone. But I'm always curious as to what people are reading. What do they love about it? What about you, Matt? Do you read it?
I've read some. I got about halfway through Vinland Saga. I started Attack on Titan, and at least the first volume, I mean, the basic premise, I thought, oh, this is interesting. And then the first volume does nothing with that basic premise and is mostly teenagers screaming and crying a lot.
They do.
And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, this is not that interesting. Vinland Saga, I kept going back and forth between this is really cool because it's based on actual historical Viking history, and most of the characters, a lot of the characters anyway, in it are historical figures. And a lot of the ships and how the towns are built and all of that is all very historically accurate and interesting. But a lot of the like Carlos was saying, a lot of the cultural differences in like the visual language and also the writing style of manga versus Western comics just irritates me, to be honest. It like these over the top facial expressions, which to me look comedic. But Vinland Saga has them in the middle of serious situations. Where otherwise things are not actually meant to be, to my perception, funny. And then particular characters will be drawn quite realistically, and other characters look like a caricature, like a cartoon, not a realistically drawn comic. And I'm just like, all of this stuff just kind of irritates me.
I found
the manga that I got really into and really liked was Lone Wolf and Cub, which is drawn throughout quite realistically and doesn't have, at least has very little of that sort of over the top emotional reactions and over the top facial expressions and that kind of stuff. And has extremely little silly in it. You know?
Yeah. For me as well, it's the dialogue, and I don't know if it's direct translations or if it's issue with translation, but the dialogue never feels authentic to me. Like, I was enjoying Vinland Saga. I read like 4 volumes of it, 4 of the chunky ones, and I thought the story is riveting, but the way the characters are talking to each other sounds like American teenagers in a high school, and it does not mesh. Like, I don't get it.
We are like brothers, Carlos. I read 4.5 volumes, and I was also totally into it. And then I'd have these moments where I wanted to throw it out the window and just stop because ridiculous dialogue, ridiculous character, ridiculous facial expressions, whatever. I was like, just give me a good Viking story. Yeah. Sometimes this is a good Viking story, and sometimes it's irritating. And I got tired of it and stopped. The artwork in Lone Wolf and Cub and the story. I mean, Lone Wolf and Cub is maybe difficult for some people because a lot of it, the first, like there are these chunky volumes. The first, I think 3 or 4 volumes are short stories. and they're not really connected. But there's little background things in all of them that eventually become an ongoing sort of connected story in later volumes. But the art and the way it's written is much more up my personal alley than most manga. Attack on Titan, everyone was talking about it like it was so great, and I think I bought the first 3 volumes because I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to get into this. And I read all of the first volume, and I was like, I can't remember a character in it that I care about. There are some like big premise questions. There's sort of a premise mystery. And I was like, I don't think I want to slog through the rest of this to actually find out the answer to that mystery. And I just stopped after the first volume.
I've read the first omnibus, which is 3 volumes. And I'm really into it so far. But I'm not without criticism. But I am really enjoying it because I think so far the mystery is outweighing the criticism. Like there are also sometimes like there's very early on, there's like warriors come back from like a defeat or something, and this woman shows up and starts screaming and goes like, "My son, where is my son?" And the guy goes, "Oh, this is so and so's mother." I'm like, yes.
I got it. I got it when she opened her mouth. You didn't also need to say anything about it. Thank you.
So there's stuff like that I think
that
you kind of have to ignore.
That shit was all over Vagabond. I tried to read Vagabond too, and I read 2 volumes of that. That kind of shit all over it. I'm like, yes, I get it. I'm not stupid.
Yeah. I watched, so I told, like I said, several friends that I was reading Attack on Titan, and 2 of them were like, why are you reading it? You need to watch it. Okay, fine, shut up, let me. Okay. So I watched the first episode of the anime after having read it, and the animation is really cool, and shattered some preconceived notions I had about what the animation would be like. Quite creative, I thought, and like the music.
Is it also mostly like 75% teenagers screaming and crying though?
I mean, it's exactly the same. Like the dialogue is the same, like the story is exactly the same, but I watched it in Japanese with subtitles, and that made it less cringy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why, because you're still reading the same, but something about like reading it in a subtitle to get the meaning, as opposed to in the dialogue bubble or dubbed.
That's interesting.
Made it less cringy. So it's like, oh, I think I understand why people that are just watching the anime don't necessarily bounce off those things.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't watch anime either.
Oh yeah. Oh, no,
I
watch much.
Yeah.
I've heard of Musashi. I'll look into that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Musashi is meant to be a lot better. I haven't read it either, but yeah, there's also like a real manga nerd in the comments can surely troll me the names. I don't remember, but there are categories of manga.
Yes.
There's categories that are aimed at very young readers or much younger readers.
Yeah.
And a lot of those end up being the manga that we adults read in the West. And then of course it's like, well, yeah, of course it's kind of juvenile. It's written for juveniles.
Yeah.
My problem is I find even because stuff like Monster or Berserk, which I've also read, are very much for adults, but I find some of the dialogue so out of place. It also feels juvenile in a sense that this is trying so hard to be adult that it is being juvenile. And this happens as well. Like, I'm not just saying this is only in manga. This happens in Western comics when you get the boys.
It happens in young adult books as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They try to be adult and they don't.
And in video games, I am currently really struggling with a video game that everyone in the entire world apparently is loving the hell out of. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. it's a small French studio, but they're doing a JRPG. Like their influences and inspirations and what they're copying in a lot of places is really clear. They're doing a JRPG. I've never played a JRPG. So far, the dialogue is really childish. The characterization is really cartoony.
Yeah.
Everybody's raving about the story, and I'm like, there is no story so far. I played 7 hours, and there is no story. There's a premise which is clearly communicated in the first half an hour, and then there's a whole bunch of explore, fight, explore, fight, explore, fight, and these character moments where you're just like, who wrote this? This is garbage. Oh my God. Every time a character opens their mouth, they say something cringy to me, and everybody loves it. Jimmy's loving it. Alan's loving it. Like, it got a 9 in reviews or a 10. You know, it's like everyone's loving it, to the point where I'm like, what is wrong with me? Am I something wrong with me? I'm just not getting it. I don't know.
It didn't appeal to you, obviously. Some things don't.
Yeah. I think there's maybe an intuitive reason that I never played a JRPG in the past. Because if they're all like this, they're garbage.
I don't play enough to know, but I thought this was an interesting comment. I don't know if I agree with this. Maybe.
Most writers.
Plenty of writers now have great dialogue. Yeah.
I would put it around the other way and say it's rare to find an author who does extremely good dialogue. I think a lot of people do totally serviceable dialogue. But then like it's real craft to do really, really good dialogue.
Has to sound realistic, basically.
It makes sense to me, though. I mean, like, to me, it seems unimaginably difficult to me as a non-writer to try and write the way people actually talk to make it feel natural and normal and not stilted and whatever. That seems like a challenge to me.
I love Erickson. I'm sorry. Go on.
Erickson does it great. Yeah.
I was just going to say I love him, but some of his characters talk the same. They're different characters, but they seem to have the same kind of intelligence. Yeah. And I thought, this isn't realistic. They should be a little bit more diverse, I think. And it's clear in the dialogue that they basically use the same kind of language that other characters do. And that isn't meant to be a major criticism, but I have noticed it. It's very common with an author. They imbue all their characters with a similar characteristics without meaning to in their dialogue. But you're like, no, that doesn't suit this character. It needs something different to distinguish it.
Colton is probably right. I just played perhaps the best story video game ever in existence.
Really?
And right after that, I'm playing this French JRPG, which is garbage.
I agree with you, Matt. Last of Us 2 was the best.
Last of Us Part 2 is insanely good. I like it immediately. As soon as I finished, I was like, that's the best story game I ever played. I don't even need to think about it. It's better than anything else I can think of. It's amazing. Wow. Last of Us Part 1 is very good, but Part 2 is much better.
Do you need to play Part 1 to play Part 2? Do you need to play the first one?
I mean, you could play Part 2, but there is so much that Part 2 is based on Part 1 that you will have a much more emotional and interesting experience if you play 1 first.
Okay.
And then play 2.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not big on games because once I get started, I can become so obsessed that you won't see me for months, and I find it really hard to stop playing. So
the good thing about these though is these are not games like Civ where you can play Civ for like years.
Days.
Last of Us Part 1 is about 20 hours long, and then you're finished. Last of Us Part 2 is maybe about 30 hours long, and then you're finished.
Okay.
So, shut up, Rogue. Go to hell. You're wrong.
He is wrong.
So
I love
wanna
Irish people, but you're a wrong Irish
Yeah, I
person.
do love Irish people. We have a lot of Irish here in Melbourne. I don't know if you guys know that. We have a ton of Irish in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's a very known thing. We hemorrhage a lot of young people to Australia who go searching for a better shot.
I
Yeah,
think they just fall in love with the country. We do get a lot of people falling in love with Australia and deciding they want to stay.
a big thing is cultural similarities
Mhm.
in the people
Better
and
weather.
warmer weather, and they don't have to go to America.
Yeah, yeah,
It's probably those three reasons. But yeah,
yeah.
like housing being too expensive here.
It's too expensive here right now. It's
Yeah,
too expensive here.
it's,
People
I
are
think,
struggling to buy
happening
houses.
everywhere now. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, I think Rogue is
Proving even further that he is a wrong Irish person.
yeah.
He's
Well,
just
what
digging a
a
hole.
so what plans do people have for reading for the next part of the year? Because we're not quite halfway, but do you have any
Plans?
plans? Are you mood readers? Because
Yes,
I'm a
very
mood reader. I mean, I have a few things that have to get through. Like I want to finish Malazan, and I'm doing a channel read along on the Dark Tower series. I've read it before several times, but I have an idea of what I want to read, but I haven't.
Yeah. We're vague ideas people ourselves.
Yeah, same. No
Yeah.
TBR videos for me because I never do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
When I started my channel, I did TBR videos, and after a while, it was just like the idea of making a TBR video would make me sweat.
Yes.
I was just like, why am I inflicting this stress on myself? Like, I looked at other booktube channels, and it seemed like TBR videos are what you do, you know. And then I was like, I don't have to do what other booktube channels do. I'm not doing any TBRs anymore. And it was just like, oh,
The relief.
yeah,
Well, it's
it was
all-
freedom.
I don't give a shit about what I have to say about a book I haven't fucking read yet, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always thought. It's like, wouldn't you prefer to hear me talking about the book once
Yeah.
I've read it rather than telling you what I may read and then I don't end up reading it anyway because
Here's a book I know nothing about, and I'm going to read it in 2 months. Like,
I'm
yeah,
I'm
who
out
cares?
myself as a hypocrite here because I did make a big long video early days of the channel of like I want to do this fantasy project of delving into it, and I listed a ton of books that I'm going to read for the rest of my life. But I figured maybe this is a different kind of video because it's more like tracking a project, so I can go back to it later. Oh, hi, Evie.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming.
It's the buddy breed betrayer.
Listen. This is my next evolution. No more dusting, just betrayed. So
Just invite people to a buddy
love
read,
it.
which is your idea, and then start the book and finish the book without telling them until you're done.
I mean,
This is how you're going to proceed in the future.
At least I told you. I could have just acted like, oh yeah, let's start it.
Halfway through.
That's true.
Did
That
you
would have been
enjoy it?
even
You loved it, didn't you?
you're an honest
You
betrayer.
loved it. Yes. But I think you
Evie
loved it.
also
didn't you?
read a Percival Everett without me when we're supposed to be reading also. John
Oh,
Steinbeck.
so she has a history of this. Okay,
Oh,
so
this is
I'm not the
classic
first.
Evie behavior. Yes.
Okay,
True.
okay,
It's true.
good to know.
It's true. I
to
did
know.
love ogres, by the way, Kathy.
Mhm. Yeah.
I started it this morning.
Nice.
I'm only about 20 pages in, but already I'm like, okay, this is more Tchaikovsky goodness.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might start the Sun Eater series. Yes, stop attacking Evie.
No.
Listen, bring it on,
Anita,
Bring it
I would be happy to attack you if you would join the stream, but since you're not here, Evie has
I
to stand
forgot
in
to
for
send
you.
her the link. Yeah, my fault. Damn it.
I've been doing a weird thing recently, and it's mostly Evie's fault. I usually the way I operate with my reading plan is I have none. I finish a book, I put it back on the shelf, and then I walk around my flat and walk past all of my bookshelves and see what jumps out at me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, that. And I grab it and read it. So because Evie and I have been talking about 2 buddy reads, one she already destroyed, but we have another one. I'm giving her a second chance.
Oh.
So we're talking about reading Bearhead, which is the second in the trilogy by Mr. Tchaikovsky, or as Jerome has been calling him, Chadrian.
When are you reading this?
When?
Because I have not read the second one.
This week.
This week?
Monday.
We
Monday.
were talking about starting it on Monday.
And regardless of starting it on Monday, I literally have to wait for Matt to say, yep, I've started it, we're going, so we're not going to have a repeat of Ogres.
I will shoot the starting gun and let you know. But yeah, this is the second book in a trilogy which starts with Dogs of War. Dogs of War is brilliant. It's about genetically engineered animals that are used as weapons in the future.
I want to read
Ooh, I
that.
like
Yeah.
that.
That's a
What was
better
that?
cover too. Much better cover than this.
Oh,
By the way-
that's the new one, is it?
Much
yeah.
better.
Mm.
Well, no, it's not that's not the new one.
That's just
No,
Oh yeah,
it's-
that's the
it's
hardcover.
called 2 Dogs of War, though, right? Isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
it's the second one in the trilogy, and then the third one comes out in June, and it's called Bee Speaker.
Yes.
Wow.
Which,
Um,
by the way, I only recently found out it's called Bioforms, by the way, is the name of the series.
Yes, Bioforms is the name of the trilogy. Yeah,
That makes
although
sense.
I'm not sure if it's going to stay just a trilogy. I don't remember if he's ever said it's only meant to be 3 books.
I think it's a safe bet that he will write more books.
Yeah, yeah,
In the
he's
series,
constantly
it's
writing more
popular,
books.
Yeah.
But what I've been doing lately is while I'm reading another book, I get kind of the grab that book off the shelf mood, and I've been stacking them up in this stack behind me here. And I also have Anne Leckie, The Raven Tower, which is a book that Chadrian, Adrian Tchaikovsky,
He really likes it.
recommended when I interviewed him, and another Tchaikovsky, The Doors of Eden, which was a gift from Tori, and I've been meaning to get to it forever. But then there's also House of Open Wounds. I don't know. I'll decide when I get that far.
They announced the 4th Tyrant Philosophers book, and it's coming out in March, and I'm so excited.
Yeehaw.
I'm so excited. And there's going to be a 5th one, because they already announced the title of the 5th one.
Good Lord.
I saw that on the Discord. Yeah.
They
I
are
have to read
doing
one
well.
now. I have 3 books, 2 and 3, so I'm up to date. But I also
They are-
want to catch up on the Black Company, because I know there's a new one coming out, and I also want to catch up on the Dresden Files, because I know there's a new one coming out. So who knows which one I'll get to finish? Yeah. But
Did
still,
Matt just conjure that book out of his elbow? What?
I
They're
don't
just-
know.
They're just stacked up. If you rewind a little bit, Jerome, I went over there
Yes.
and grabbed those books and put them on my desk.
Mm.
They're right here.
So what are you reading now, Evie?
I got home from getting an oil change in my car, and I'm very excited because I had book mail from the horrible Jeffrey Bezos. The last book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I'm gonna start this bad boy, and it's gonna be great.
Who is it by? Is that the Emily
What?
Henry?
No, this is Lila Sage. It is a cowboy, pretty smutty romance book. I literally read the 3rd book in 6 hours last night. Stayed up
It's
until 3 a.m.
amazing.
and then finished it in an hour after I woke up. And
Would you say there's a lot of writing in these books?
there are so many inappropriate, well, for this book, appropriate innuendos made with horse-related stuff. So
Ooh.
it's great. Who am I?
In your
Like
window.
smut, apparently.
Smut can be fun.
Yeah.
Can be fun.
We can't all have
Depends on how well it's
classic literature authors tattooed on our bodies or be that kind of snob.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've read a lot of romances in my time. I don't read them now, but I have read a ton when I was younger. Yeah, my friend Madam Vader, she likes her romances as well. So she likes.
Monica,
Mm.
go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all I had to say.
Monica asked if anyone's read Terra Ignota.
Terra
I've read
Yeah.
the first 3 books, and thought they were amazing. I balked at the last one because the last one is about as thick as my head, and it just like every time I look over at my shelf, I'm always like, oh yeah, I've still got it. Like the 4th one is as big as the third and the second one put together.
Oh,
Alan, I have a
Alan.
recommendation for you. You should read this.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Alan would eat that up.
I'd never read that book.
No.
It
would
is.
never
I mean,
read
it's Alan coded. Has Alan written all over it.
Yeah, right.
It's totally about
By the way,
Rome. and-
happy 5-year booktube anniversary.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
happy 5 years, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't believe I've been doing it for 5 years, but yeah.
Was that Christina in the background going, woo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christina. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming. I appreciate all of you coming. This is so lovely of you. I feel very grateful to have met you all, actually.
I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go in my closet and record for 8 hours. So I'm like, what can I, you know what? I'm going to celebrate Kathy. I'm going to celebrate Kathy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
So-
it. Though I want
So
you to
he's just
finish the
using you
audio
as
book
an
too,
excuse.
because I want to
Yeah,
hear
I was
it.
going to anyway. It just happens to also align with things that I also want to do, which is to not sequester myself for the next several hours.
Not lock yourself in your recording dungeon.
No, it's terrible. I don't know, and it hurts my back because I have to sit. I need one where I can stand, and voices are easy to do standing up anyway. So if I keep doing this racket, like I got to find a way to set up a standing thing, like an actual office or something instead of my closet.
I mean, to be fair, Alan, it's inevitable. As soon as you go into your recording closet, someone's gonna start doing lawn mowing. So
No, right now I'm relying on the weather because we're about to get like storms for the next 2 days. So it really, I need to hope that it's just rain and not thunder, because if it's thunder, I'm screwed. I can't do anything. Like the rain is fine. It doesn't really get picked up unless it's really bad. But if it's thunder, then I'm just done. Like, better go find something else to do. I'll do sprints if it's thundering. I might as well. I can't record. So
hopefully I'll be around. You're usually not on when I'm around, or you're usually on when I'm sleeping, unfortunately.
where are you, Kathy? You're in Australia.
I'm in Melbourne.
Yeah,
Melbourne.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
I'm
What
miles
time
away.
is it now?
Yeah. It is 2:52 a.m. I look, honestly, I do not go to bed before 5 anyway.
Kath doesn't
just
sleep.
because I'm insane. I do
5
sleep. I just go to bed
a.m.?
really 5 a.m.
She
Yeah.
regularly joins
an
the
night
Sunday
owl.
pub. She regularly joins the Sunday pub, which is at the same time every Sunday, which is 4 a.m. her time.
That's bizarre.
But she very often comes. So
Yeah, I tried to, but it's at the moment, because of the daylight savings, we've lost ours, you've gained yours, so the times are a bit better for me. But I'm just a night owl. What can I say? I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm also retired. I'm not working anymore, so I can sleep in.
That sounds nice.
Well, yeah, it can be. It can get boring sometimes too, but you fill it up.
It's impossible. I have too many things that I would love to do that aren't working. I would never get bored. Ever.
Yeah, I'm with Alan on this one.
Yeah.
I have too many things I want to do. That work gets in my way.
Yeah.
Seriously. Now, my wife, Christina's completely different. She loves what she does. Like, she would work even if she didn't have to work. No, not a chance. Not a chance. Bye. I'm going to go do the things I want to do.
Your job. You don't love your job, Alan.
I love teaching. I don't love my
No, I
job.
know you love teaching, but you don't love your current job, I should
Yeah.
say.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't love my job,
There's
but
a
I love
difference.
teaching. I just don't like the job of being a teacher.
Yeah, Matt,
much
I'm
work.
such a wild woman that I'm always in the clubs till 4 a.m. I don't think so.
Why do you think she has blue-green hair?
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm quite boring. I'm such a homebody. But the truth is that if you do love your job, and I understand Christina because I love mine, but I was forced to retire because of my health, not through choice. And so it was really hard to give up something that I really love doing. So I think it does depend on if you love your job or not. But if you don't like it, then sure, all you want to do is everything else. It can be hard though to fill in every day with a hobby. After a while, you're like, yeah, I've done this before. I need to start a new hobby. And it's fine if you've got lots of hobbies. You would love it. But
Right
I'd give
now,
you a year and you'd say, I'm done. Now I need to do something else.
Right now, my life goal is to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carlos, I told Christina I'm not working a day past 60. I'm retiring at 60. Not a day past it. So however much money we've got saved up, like that's how much we're gonna have when I retire. I'm not working not a day. And I don't care these children trying to threaten my ability. Y'all better get scholarships because your dad's not working so you can go to college. So hope you got scholarships. I'm not doing it, Carlos. I'm not doing it.
I'm with
I'm
you.
gonna retire and then I'm gonna fly out to Ireland and hang out with y'all.
Hell
Sounds
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
have the money
You're
for it.
staying here, you have to work. I'm retired.
I would really like if she earned all the money and I got to be a stay-at-home husband.
That's literally where
Whoa.
I'm same way, Carla. She likes to work. Like, why can't she just make all the money and I can stay home? And though I do not think I want to stay home all day and have to take care of this baby. I think I do because that's not fun. Like that's not.
It's a bit different now that you've got a baby.
I love this child, but it is not fun.
However,
watching like that is not something I would enjoy doing. I would rather work, like legitimately. I'd rather work than.
This 180.
I'm not talking about spending time with my kid. I love spending time with my kid.
Alan's never done a faster 180 than that.
Taking care of this baby all day, like
it's different.
Like
all day
moms
is very
do that.
different.
Good for y'all, because I can't do it. It's so boring.
Gives you a newfound respect for stay-at-home parents.
He's at the age where you can't you can't do anything. He just chews on everything and just does this with bangs on things, and like it's not like super fun to do anything. Like when we can interact and we can do stuff together, and that's different. But right now it's just, oh no, that's where another one's coming, Chadia. I know. And for the first 3 months, they don't even recognize that you're a person.
Yeah. It's not far off, actually. You
Have
must
you
be
discussed any
excited about
names?
What?
Sorry. Have you discussed any names for baby number 2?
The baby number 2's name is Theodore.
Oh, you're
Teddy?
going to call it Theo for short? Is that an American thing, not shortening names? Because we Aussies short all names.
Oh,
No, we
same here,
shorten names. Atticus doesn't have
Americans do too.
a shortened version. And Theodore, I like the name Theodore, but we'll probably call him Theo a lot of times also. But the thing is like if I give a kid like with a name, like I like the name. Like I don't like the shortened name. Like if I name a kid Robert, like why not just name him Bob? If you want to call him Bob, just name him Bob. Like why would you name them Robert? Like
Rob.
I mean, yeah, but that would irritate me. It's like that's not what not why I gave you that name.
I also always wondered, like, first of all, my parents were not at all religious, and they named me Matthew David, 2 biblical names. And no one in my entire life, including my mother and my father, ever called me Matthew, except my mother when she was absolutely irate. Like if my mother got in a killing mood, then it was Matthew David, right? And otherwise, I've always been Matt.
So Teddy is inexcusable. We're not doing Teddy. Nope.
Teddy or Ted is also officially short for Theodore.
Teddy's a toy. Teddy's a toy.
I agree. And Chatty, I think I said
or a president
in the Discord on a sprint one time.
You did.
I didn't. we didn't reveal it. I think I just kind of like just said it once. His name's Theodore David but his middle name was always going to be David because Christina's dad name is David, and so we always knew that if we had a second boy, his middle name would be David. Like we always knew that. So we tried to find a name that went well with David, and Theodore David works fine. I don't like Theo David, but I like Theodore David just fine. So anyway. Look, guys, one day y'all gonna be like, Christina, where's Alan? She'd be like, I haven't seen him in weeks because he literally left his phone, took his car, and vanished.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
That's where I am, guys. I don't understand. Like my depression is bad right now.
Yeah. I mean,
I can relate.
Yeah, it can be difficult when you're going through it.
Yeah.
You just have to. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't have any solutions for things like this. I think it depends on each individual person. It takes time to
Thor.
get through whatever it is. Thor.
I've never heard of Thor as short for Theodore.
No, I keep looking for the hammer.
I actually have friends legitimately named Thor, but they are Scandinavians.
Yeah, very common name.
Yeah.
Take care, Grim.
Archery class. Oh man, I miss shooting. I
I
haven't
can't
been to an
wait
archery
for-
range in a long time.
I can't wait
Who's
for
not
Theodore,
allowed?
the short name, to be Odor.
To be what?
Never mind.
The
Odor.
odor.
Odor. It should be Odor.
Alan's not paying attention.
Have you seen that cartoon where the guy is painting on the door the name and it says Psycho the Rapist?
Instead of
No,
psychotherapy.
Oh my god.
So I got that. Was it Celebrity Jeopardy? The SNL skit. I think it was the guy playing Sean Connery was like,
Daryl Hammond.
yeah, Daryl Hammond, the rapist. You
I'll
mean
take
therapist?
I'll take the rapist for 20. This man reads from a card. So good.
We don't get SNL.
Norm Macdonald as Burt Reynolds is the best in Celebrity Jeopardy, though.
It's true. True story.
But Reynolds, then this one has to be quite old, isn't it?
Oh no, it's
Oh,
SNL,
no.
so it's someone playing Burt Reynolds.
Someone doing an
Oh, I
impression
see.
of Burt
I
Reynolds.
see. Okay,
We're doing an
gotcha.
impression of Burt Reynolds.
Right. Yeah, we don't get SNL. I don't think so.
No.
I don't watch regular TV anymore, so I don't know. But yeah, we never used to get SNL.
Kathy,
It's a
do you
very
own a TV?
American thing.
Do you own a
Sorry?
TV? Do you own a TV?
Yes, I love
Okay.
movies. I'm a big movie
Oh,
buff. I
sorry, I
just
thought
don't
you were about to
watch
pull a
TV.
I thought you were about
No,
to
no,
pull
no,
a
no, no, no.
I
I'm
thought you
actually
owned a TV.
a huge movie buff.
Okay, good.
I also like good TV shows, but yeah, no. I just
Kathy
don't
Kathy
watch
is the
regular-
one who offered to send me a complete box set of Doctor Who Blu-ray because they are insanely expensive here in Europe.
Very expensive.
But I mean,
Yeah.
especially like I can almost see the place where the show's produced from here. You know, like it's just England. You know, it's
that far.
much
Yeah.
closer to me than it is to Kath, but they cost less than half as much somehow in Australia.
It's so expensive. So expensive.
It's well, I mean, I've been collecting movies and shows for a long time. I know Carlos, you used to review movies. We need to
Yep.
talk about movies one day because I'm a big fan of movies. I have a huge collection as well. So I do
I
like
several podcasts in college. I did media studies for my
Mm.
undergrad, and I did like film and all that kind of stuff. But I also had a radio show called Good Film Hunting, which was the worst name
Hey,
ever.
that's
but-
cool. That's a clever name.
It's
oh
pretty
yeah, I
bad.
came up with it.
It's pretty bad.
It is very bad, but it made everybody laugh, and it was a fun show. Yeah. So yeah, my background is a bit more movie oriented.
I never studied it. I just loved movies since I was a kid. It used to be something that Saturday afternoons when it was raining, you'd sit in front of the telly and just watch old movies from the 40s and 50s. So, yeah. And I just discovered I really love them. Yeah. I don't watch much now, but I used to. Top
I was
5
unusually,
films.
I was
That's a
unusually
top
obsessed with.
Alex. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
top
what was that?
I was going to say I was unusually obsessed with Jimmy Stewart movies as a teenager.
Yeah? Which
That
one of
is
you
unusual.
Yeah.
The Shop Around the Corner and Harvey are my favorites. Yeah.
Seen them.
There's one scene in Harvey I think of quite often where he's like sliding across a hallway, and it's like I just remember the first time I watched that I was like 9. I could not stop laughing. I think it might be the most I've ever laughed at a scene in a movie. Anyway, top 5 movies, I've no idea. The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Some
I
other
love
stuff.
Lord of the Rings.
I could definitely say in no particular order, top 5. Death Takes a Holiday, 1934. I hate freaking Meet Joe Black so bad. But Death Takes a Holiday. Blazing Saddles. The Green Knight.
What was the third one? What was the third one?
The Green Knight that came out a few years ago. Arrival and Dodgeball.
That is a very diverse list.
Oh my
I
God,
love
no.
Dodgeball. It's so good.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Hello. Hi,
Slumpy
Anita.
Smurf.
Welcome.
Hi, Nathan.
Honorary
Oh, wait, no,
mention
you're-
to Pirates of the Caribbean, by the way.
Okay, before
You're
someone,
You're back to being Grumpy Smurf now, right?
no, I'm not. I am nice
you're
Smurf now. I am.
You're still
I'm,
slumpy?
no, I'm not. I am out of
The-
slump.
The choices
been
are
reading
only
a
Slumpy
lot.
Smurf or Grumpy Smurf. Like, there is nothing in between. There is no third option. Sorry.
No, this is happy Smurf. Get used to it.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I
That
see
sounds
it.
like a very grumpy Smurf thing to say.
I was going to say you're
Anita,
proving
you're
my point
grumpy
here, Anita.
You're Grumpy Smurf whether you say you are or not. So, like, you saying that you're not doesn't change facts. That's not how facts work.
No, it
Right.
kind of proves the fact, actually. Yeah.
Sorry, Nathan.
Good to see you either way, Grumpy Smurf.
Yes. It's great to see you, Anita.
Before someone say anything, I'm not here because Alan joined it.
Yeah,
Kathy
true.
asked me at
I'd
11.
already
I
asked her
told her
before.
I'll join after 2 hours. I told her.
Yeah.
I am on
I
time.
Okay, Anita, the only time people say that is freaking Jimmy's Discord. It's the only. I don't know why they're so jealous. I don't know why they're so jealous of your devotion to the cause. Probably because they're all treacherous turncoats.
It is because she infiltrates every conversation with emojis and nothing else.
Emoji Smurf.
No, I'd already
I-
asked Anita before if she wanted to join. So, yeah. But
So,
anyway, it's lovely to have you all here. I'm really beyond touched that all of you did join and help me celebrate 5 years on YouTube. It's just so bizarre to think about doing this for so long. But I actually do want to talk about movies because that
Real
is another
quickly,
passion of mine.
Real quickly,
Big
do I
Lebowski.
confess now that it took me 4.5 years to find your channel?
I confessed earlier that I think it was 2 years ago, like was the first time I and then I admittedly was just like, I'm going to watch this because she's Australian.
I discovered you, Kathy, with your Dead House Gates video, I believe.
Okay, so Carlos wins for the most fake Kath fan.
Yep.
Joanna found me through Dead House Gates as well. Yeah.
That makes me feel better.
Speaking of Dead House Gates, Alan's wearing his Bridge Burners t-shirt.
Oh,
I am.
And he was muted. Okay. 12 Angry Men, also a great movie.
One of the best screenplays ever.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
it
it's
is a
crazy good.
brilliant screenplay.
The play is
But I
excellent. Also,
oh, what about Double Indemnity?
Oh, yeah.
What about The Maltese Falcon?
Oh, Raymond Chandler. Now we're talking.
It's one of my
I like Raymond
favorites.
Chandler.
The Big Sleep. I love The Big Sleep. But I'd say my favorites are Empire Strikes Back.
Correct.
The Lord of the Rings. I really do love them all, actually. So I'd put them as one. Definitely. What did I just say? The Big Sleep. No, not The Big Sleep.
Double Indemnity.
Double
Double Indemnity.
I really love Double Indemnity, but I think I like the Maltese Falcon better, actually,
Mhm.
personally. That's definitely one of my favorites. I love Gladiator and I love Raiders or Back to the
Oh.
Future, but they're all easy, you know, not as deep. I like a combination of movies. I actually think I'm an equal opportunity lover of movies. Yeah.
I
What about
think
you guys?
if I take out Lord of the Rings, I would say maybe The Green Mile.
That is a good movie. That's a great.
That
Oh,
is a very good movie. That's
it's a
true.
good film. It's a great film. No
I've
doubt.
never tried to compile a list, but I know that Blade Runner would be on it. The original Blade Runner, not the new one,
Oh,
which is
yes,
actually pretty
not
good.
the
But
second. No, the
Evie,
first one is
Evie, you give me
brilliant.
Percy vibes from the Green Mile. You're giving Percy right now, Evie.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm
just
not
saying,
a racist. I'm
you
not a
strike
like.
me. You strike me as someone who would put a non-wet sponge under on someone's head. I saw that with my best girlfriend at the time. She almost vomited. Like we almost had to leave the theater during that scene. It was so
Pretty rough.
disturbing.
Yeah.
Like
But
every
during
time I see
Green
that
Mile,
actor, I'm just like, Percy, you piece of garbage.
oh,
He is a
was.
piece of
He
garbage.
was. He was.
And
He was
I
rubbish.
I had seen the film like probably once, maybe twice. And I was nervous to read the book. And the book I think it's one of the most perfect adaptations.
I've never read the book. Is it good?
Yeah, I think both book
Series
and movie,
Really good. Yeah.
both book and movie are
Really
amazing.
serialized. It was serialized
Yeah,
originally.
there were like 8 of them when I was in high school, right? Like, weren't
They're
there
really small. They're
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's not like a massive book. I don't know how
Yeah.
many pages it is when it's all together, but yeah, it's
About
not one of
400.
these longer books. Casablanca, yes, Matt.
Casablanca's so good. There's a lot.
It is.
I've been seeing a
It's
lot of
not
like.
my favorite.
I've been seeing some pushback online of, I guess it's popular to like not like Casablanca right now, for some reason.
Why?
I've just seen several like crap on the feed being like, oh, finally someone who doesn't think Casablanca's a masterpiece. I'm like, okay, all right.
I've
People
never
will-
seen it, so I have
It's
no.
good.
You haven't seen it? I think you
No.
would like it.
Yeah,
I think
it is-
you'd
it's
like
quite
it. It's really good. Yeah, but I'm a big Humphrey Bogart fan. I can't
I
deny
also love Bogey.
it. Yeah, he's the best. I don't think anyone did detective noir like him. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's who I think of when I think of, you know, that hard-boiled detective. He just did it so well.
Wings of
Very-
Desire, a Wim Wenders fan. Good to see
Yeah.
a Wim Wenders fan.
It's a
I
good
love
film.
his movies.
Speaking of
I met-
Wim Wenders, Perfect Days, his most recent movie, is amazing.
Ah, I haven't seen it.
Which one is his newest? I haven't.
It's called
Heard of it.
Perfect Days. It's set in Tokyo. It follows a toilet cleaner in Tokyo who loves his job and loves like 70s.
Oh, I saw
By
a
the
trailer
way-
for that. Looks very Wim Wenders.
Speaking of East Asian set movies, tangentially related, Parasite. That is a great movie.
Oh yeah, Parasite.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a
Parasite?
good movie, but I'm not sure I liked it as much as others. I understand why it got the Oscar though. It is a good movie.
Which one was this?
It's a
Parasite
Korean
by
movie. It's a
Boo-
Korean movie which got Oscar like 3-4
Ah,
years
right.
back.
Bong
I haven't
Joon-ho.
seen this.
Bong Joon-ho. There you go.
We recently saw one of the best animated movies I think I've ever seen, actually. It's called Flow. It's a Latvian movie.
Is that the
which-
one with the cat?
Yes, it is about the cat. Yes. That is an amazing movie. There's no
It's
dialogue.
amazing. Yeah, it just won the Oscar to Best Animated Movie this year, and there's no
Oh.
dialogue in it. It's just the cat and a bunch of other animals, and it's incredible. It's also just like, I think not even 90 minutes. I think it's 85 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Great.
I do love animated films. I'm a big kid at heart. I watch all of them because I really enjoy them. You know, all the Pixars and things like that. Yeah, I really enjoy those.
In
Now, I
Alone,
have
great book.
this is the
Yeah.
book that Carlos and Yolanda you were talking about by Dorothy somebody or other.
Darth Hughes, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a
actually
brilliant.
bought it. I bought the book because of
Nice.
you, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to watch the film. Yeah.
So there's a fundamental difference between the movie and the book. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the movie, but I know that they change one thing, and it is essentially to do with the fact that women are written very differently in this book as compared to other noir crime books of the era. And the movie Hollywood could not have this, so they change a fundamental thing in that movie.
I assume it will. I mean, Bogart was after the Hays Code, so that would make sense. They try to make it more palatable to appease the Hays Code.
Yeah, basically, you don't want Humphrey Bogart playing the bad guy, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Hays Code, underrated film is Female, 1933, 1934. Literally, the ending, it's a perfect film, and then an ending is tacked on to appease the Hays Code, which was they knew was coming out and going to be implemented. So it's a fascinating look at how the Hays Code was affected live cinema that was being produced at that time. So it's great. Great film.
Cool.
My all-time favorite movie. None of you knows because it's in my first language. I watched it when I was 5 or 6, and it actually taught me. You all know India is a caste-based society, right? And I have been reading Windhaven. This book is reminding me of that movie a lot, and it actually taught me to look beyond caste. Like, don't let tradition forget your humanity. And I always tried to live up to what that movie taught me. And this book is making me remind me. Actually, I have been thinking about that movie a lot while reading this book.
What's it called, or what's the approximate translation?
It's called Rudravina. Forget about the translation. It's about this upper caste. Initially, before titles like a prologue, that he was a kid actually. He was praying actually at that time. These people, like upper caste people, don't like to touch lower caste people. They treat them very bad separately. So this kid went to temple and praying, and there was a blind woman, old woman begging there, and one guy gives her a banana. I mean, he doesn't give it to her hand actually. He just throws near her. She was trying to grab that, but it just falls 2 stairs below. So she was trying to find it with her hands. She was blind old woman. He saws that him, but he doesn't help her because he thinks he can't go near her. So then one guy who was nearby helps her and tells that kid, why didn't you saw that old woman, blind woman was struggling, why didn't you help? You are praying that, don't you understand what God gave you? Something he basically gives a lecture. And there is a song, one of my favorite songs actually, very meaningful lyrics. So he grows up. He's from a great musician family. His father is a great popular singer. His brother plays some instrument, his sister plays instrument. He becomes singer as well. His father thinks actually he will be his heir to his singing and all. But he grows up with lot of empathy because of the childhood experience. So in the beginning of the movie itself, they are going to perform in some theater actually. On the way to there actually, one guy meets with an accident. They are trying to take him to hospital on a cart actually. These people are little rich, they have a car, they ask for these people help, but his father rejects. They go, but that experience disturbs him. We could have helped him, we could have saved his life. So he could not digests that. After performance, he goes to the hospital to find out what happens. The guy dies actually because they're late to the hospital. That moves him a lot. From then he starts fighting with his father, and he I mean, in India at that time, you have to live with your parents and take care of them. It's not common to move on your own actually. So his father kicks him out. It's all about him, you know like trying to help everyone, and his father kicks him out, like of the family, of the house. It's all about that.
Hmm.
It's very, very, very
It
meaningful
had a
for
great
me.
impact. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. It
Meaningful
had
for
a big
me.
impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
reading at that age, which actually shaped my thought process.
Yeah,
I,
cool.
I
And
saw it.
I became an headache to my father and my family members.
I watched a film when I was very young. I don't remember which film it was, but I remember there were slaves in it. And I remember saying to my dad, I don't understand. How can somebody own another person? This is wrong. And it's funny how you learn things like that when you're very young and that have such a big impact on you. Because ever since I was very young, I thought, no, this is just wrong. Nobody should be able to own another person. And I was horrified that there was in these films, which I knew weren't real, but I thought maybe it was real that people did own other people. So it's interesting how you can learn, or how a film or a book can shape you even when you're very young in your
Yeah.
thought processes. Yeah. Mm.
I'm
Toy
going to
Story.
take this I'm going to take this opportunity to say goodbye. It's getting to be dinner time-ish. I need to go eat something. It's been a pleasure, Kath. Congratulations again.
Thank
Good to
you.
see
And
you
thank you so
all,
much.
everybody.
My man.
Yeah, of course. My
Yeah.
pleasure.
You take
See you
care.
soon. Maybe in the pub tomorrow.
Now,
Ciao.
I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
man.
see. Take care. So, what are you guys reading? I know I've asked Evie and Yolanda and Carlos.
But I
Oh,
don't know. What are you reading, Kathy? And what are you guys reading?
oh, I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale, and I
Oh,
am
that's light reading, light fun.
Oh my
stuff.
God. I'm just shocked at how it's enraged me so much. Like I'm reading it, angry reading it the entire time, though I think it's really well done. And I think a lot of what she's doing is describing men's attitudes towards females, which, I mean, I know it exists. I know that this is not unrealistic, but the ramifications of men having power to put women in this situation is just, yeah, it's really good. It's
Sounds
really
like
good.
it's successful in its intentions.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I'm reading at the moment. I just finished Dungeon Crawler number 5
Nice.
because I loved it. I am so hooked. Yeah. I know. You didn't like it, but Evie
I did not like
understands
it.
because her and I agree on this. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
still
Evie
need.
is
Thank
Evie
goodness,
is not
Carlos.
reading. Evie is not reading books with me because she's reading Dungeon Crawler, Carl. Like what? Is this?
And smutty romance. So
Yeah.
no.
And horse riding books. Emphasis on the riding.
Chadia, yes, it will trigger because it's definitely triggered mine. But I sometimes like to be angry about certain issues. It's a way of kind of venting,
It
your
helps.
feelings. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I think it might trigger other emotions for other people. I don't know. I haven't watched the show. I've been waiting to read the book before I watched it. Yeah.
Mm.
It's a really good book. It's not very long anyway. Have any of you read it?
Yeah,
Yes?
I read it.
What did you think, Yolanda?
It's a very good book. I remember at the time I read it 7 years ago, or longer, and I remember at the time thinking that it's not as timely as people say it is, and now it's become more timely.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to reread it. I think it's gonna, like you just said, channel the rage that I feel in a way that might help.
It does actually. I mean,
fact-
it's yeah. Anyway,
we just read, or we just not read. We just watched one of the best little limited series I think I've ever seen. We watched Adolescence on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It
I
will
heard
fit.
that was awesome.
Hearing a lot about that.
It's amazing.
Isn't every episode an hour-long take? Like there's no edits.
One
like it's
cut.
one cut.
that's
Like
cool.
every episode.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's unbelievable.
And we were looking it up because we were not sure if it was just edited in a very seamless way to make it seem like, but it's actually one
Yeah.
shot for each episode. It's incredible.
Wow.
It goes into all of it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It goes into all of this manosphere bullshit with like Andrew Tate influence on teenage boys and all of this
Oh
nonsense.
yeah, that's also going to enrage me. I'm sure.
Everywhere
But,
it's
yeah.
in India as well. I can't believe it's in India as well. Indian school kids as well.
What the show Adolescence or Andrew
No,
Tate?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Kids watching
And it's
Andrew.
particularly barbaric, useless. Again, for those of you who are longtime Sprint watchers, the tumbrils will roll the podcaster class. Like Andrew Tate is of the podcaster class. Like he will be first in line in the tumbrils when the revolution comes because of his nonsense.
I love that
And
word
the problem
tumble.
is he didn't believe the crap that he's saying. Like, doesn't he is one of these. He is one of these absolutely abominable people that doesn't believe what he's saying. But
I think that makes it worse.
it does. It
Yeah.
absolutely does work.
You know,
Absolutely.
it makes it so much worse. It's different if you actually have a belief, even if we disagree with you, but it's entirely different to just
No, it's that.
encourage
All
others.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
I
what?
thought he was playing a
For
character.
whatever the reason. Yeah. It's disgusting.
I thought he was playing a character at first. I didn't think it was real. And then I thought, oh, maybe it is real. But now I'm thinking, oh no, maybe he was playing a character, but now it suits him and it's making
Now
him
it
money.
makes him a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's always
And
about-
allows him to act. It allows him to live out his id without any kind of thoughts for others or self-control. You know who does that? Do y'all know who lives out their id without any thought of self-control? Babies. Babies do that.
Sociopathy.
Atticus
It's
is
a giant
Andrew Tate.
man-sized,
confirmed.
bullet-headed baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
And-
what are you guys reading?
Soldiers live.
Anita?
Oh, I am reading Windhaven.
That's
And
right.
I
Is
am
that
reading.
a sci-fi? It's the sci-fi,
it's
isn't it? It's
sci-fi.
not fantasy. Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
standalone by George R. R. Martin and Lisa Tuttle. It
I
is-
actually have it, and I think I read it when it first came out, but that I
Oh,
don't remember it. It's that long ago. Yeah. Yeah.
it
Well,
is
you're
very-
enjoying it though.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah,
My first George R. R. Martin, although it's written also by Lisa Tuttle. I don't know how much George R. R. Martin wrote and how much Lisa Tuttle wrote, but I am having a blast with it. It's making me think, questioning my ethos actually. I'm taking my time with it.
From what I
Yeah.
understand, Germ wrote one part, Lisa Tuttle wrote another, and then they both wrote the third part.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, that's per Kyle. So
Per Kyle. The word of the Lord.
As per Wikipedia, also same. As per Jimmy,
Okay.
also same. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
about like humanity went and settled on. I mean, they had an accident. They settled on different planet where small aliens are divided with dangerous sea actually. So they can't travel exactly on sea. So what they did was they used those salvage parts and sailing everything. They made these wings, so they use those wings to fly and travel between and trade between communicate between different islands. So this flyers actually tradition was, if you only flyers first child can wear the wings, it pass on those wings. It's a very needy resource for them, very limited resource. So that kind of created a caste based society, because if somebody wants, a fisherman's daughter wants to wear wings, wants to fly, she can't, because she is not a flyer's daughter. So it starts from there. First part is about her wanting wings. There is a debate about that. One of the best things I ever read in fiction. Where that's what made me think anyone who fought tradition in their life to break traditions can relate to it so well. It spoke to me actually, because I fought so many times throughout my life.
Yeah, you and me both, Anita, because
Yeah,
I did the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone
Same.
who fought can relate to it. So from part two, it's like we realize that it's not
No
the end.
spoilers! No spoilers! No spoilers!
I'm not going to spoil. Okay. I mean, it's like it's just a beginning of breaking the tradition. What are the consequences of that? What happens if with people? How different people react to that? It's a very good book.
Sounds good. I can't remember reading it, but I'm fairly certain I have, because I've got the mass paperback. That's how old mine is. Excuse me.
What are you reading?
I am reading The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah, which is a Middle Eastern inspired
I want
fantasy.
to read that.
It's very good. It's very fun. It's what I wanted from the setting and the inspiration and all that. So it's like,
Is it a trilogy?
I think it's planned to be a trilogy. The second one just came out
Okay, but the first
Yeah.
one came out a long time back, right?
3 years ago. Yeah, so it's 2022, and now this year the second one. So I don't know when the third one will come out. But
I like that. That fills me with confidence that a good book is being written.
that you took time to write the second one.
Yeah, there's too many of these, like, oh, we're doing another fantasy trilogy and it's one per year and that's the contract and there you go, and you can just see where it's going to go.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes there shouldn't be a trilogy. It should just be a standalone. It doesn't need to be a trilogy, or even a duology would be enough.
That is
I
my
mean-
opinion about Mark Lawrence's latest trilogy. It should have been one book.
Oh,
I haven't read
you-
it yet.
Like
did
all
not take
combined
that
into
book?
one book, or just the first book should have just been.
Philip loved the last one.
Scrap a load of shit that he added in the second book. Take one storyline out of it. Make the first book like 700-800 pages. Boom, done. That second book is kind of pointless in my opinion. Yeah.
That's the library ones, right?
Yeah.
The library trilogy. Yeah,
First
I
book is
haven't read that yet. Yeah. No, my aim is to try to finish some of the series that I've got ongoing, and then I start new series like Dungeon Crawler Carl or the Books of Babel. Yeah, I haven't had time to get back to that one either, which I will.
I still have not read Arm of the Sphinx, and I think Stenlin is one of my favorite fantasy books, honestly.
You should read it. I just read of Sphinx like last month, and I will be reading Hot King this month. You should join me.
Did you like it better, the second one?
Yes.
You did. Okay,
I'm-
cool.
I mean, I like the first one as well, but just what some of the things happened. I don't know. Maybe I'll discuss in spoiler discussion. Maybe we can have a discussion about it.
We have Alan here. Alan here.
I'm
Yeah.
sad because
Babble.
Bancroft said that his Orbit might not release the third book in his Hexologist trilogy.
What? Why?
Oh,
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the first
yeah, I
Didn't say.
remember saying
didn't
that.
do well enough, so they said
I bought it.
I did
I
too.
thought it.
And I'm
Yeah,
excited to read
I
the
haven't
second
read
one.
it yet, but I've got it.
I think the relationship between the main characters and Hexologists is a really it's just a really good married couple that like each other. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Has he
never
already
in anything.
written the third book, essentially?
No, 100. His post today, he put the first chapter of it in there. He says 175 pages done. But yeah, he doesn't know if Orbit's gonna publish the third one. So if anybody is a fan of Josiah Bancroft, just drop the money and buy the second Hexologist book, even if you're not gonna read it. Like just support the man. At least he's doing something different in the genre. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he
It's
writes.
actually published the second one, is it?
The second one's coming out soon.
Okay, so all right.
September, I
I
think.
mean,
I'll order
is
it.
it because
I've
he
bought
did
the
not
first.
sell as much as they planned?
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. So they're not even going to be physical arcs for the second book. There's only going to be e-arcs. There's no sub press version of the second book. It's just e-arcs, and they don't know if they're going to even publish the third book, which is
That's so sad. That's
sad.
so sad.
I know. I agree. It's
Can,
sad. I
can
love
he
Bancroft.
can he do self-publishing, or it's contractually he can't do anything about it?
What an excellent point. I don't think he'd be
That's a
able to
good question.
self-publish the Hexologist, right? Because Orbit would own the rights to that, right?
Or maybe for the first book, but it depends on what agreement he has with them.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
if it's
know
only-
his contract.
Yeah.
I just saw his patron post and he was very kind of down about it, which I get, but I mean, Bancroft knows he's never going to be the mainstream author. Like he's not a mainstream author. He's not Sanderson, he's not going to sell 4 million copies of.
He doesn't want to be a Sanderson anymore.
No, he doesn't. But I mean, unfortunately,
Yeah.
How depressing is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as big a fan as Alan, but it's very sad. Even I feel that.
You haven't finished the dang series. Hush your mouth. There you go. That's right. I said it.
I am taking your side, your side.
Yes, but you're tepidly taking my side. I don't want your lukewarm support.
It's not lukewarm. It's okay. Now you wonder
I want
why
nothing.
I'm grumpy all the time.
I want nothing but vociferous engagement. I don't want any of this. Well, I want. Yes,
See, okay.
That's right.
Nothing I say is lukewarm.
I know,
That
I'm
it
just
was
kidding.
a hatful.
I'm just kidding.
We only accept fanaticism.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's the age of the zealot.
So what are you reading at the moment, Alan?
Soldiers Live, book 10 of Black Company.
You already. How many are there altogether? Are there
10.
10?
There's 10,
There are
and
10.
then technically there's 11, but I haven't read that
You
one
went
yet.
through it fast.
Yeah, because I forgot how good it was. Like I forgot how good the whole series is, and I continue to say it. The series is not. The books are not. The books themselves are not as good, but the series is fantastic. Like the series is so good. Like when it's all said
the
and done.
series is good, but also the books individually are also good.
I mean, some of them are good. The problem is some of them aren't good. Like Dreams of Steel is fine. Shadow Games is fine. Bleak Seasons is fine, no matter what you say.
Bleak Seasons is
fine.
amazing, Alan.
That's untrue, and most people agree with me. That's not true. Like most people.
You
don't
will
like
agree with me though that Glenn Cook watched way too much Temple of Doom when he was writing Dreams of Steel, right?
For sure. The Deceivers, yeah.
Did you know? Did I tell you that Laura's husband has read the first 6 books already, and he's loving it.
That's awesome.
Cool.
But some individual books are really, really good. But the series as a whole is just really just tremendous. And there's a new book coming out in November, so I was just trying to catch up. And also, you know what? I don't make videos anyway, so I might as well just read books straight through. Like I used to, space out books in series because I'm like, well, I don't want to homogenize content on my channel. What content? What content? So I'm just gonna read. I'm just gonna read the books.
You do give us like lots of content at once. And
Yes,
then
I
there
know.
might be a bit of a break. There's nothing
I
wrong
know.
with that.
I flood the market, and then I create an artificial scarcity in an
Yeah.
attempt to drive up real costs.
But it's good because we have a lot of things to watch.
Yeah.
Because you do record quite a
The
bit.
next
Sometimes
video
I'm
will
not
be
in the
a
mood.
book from Christina. It's a review from Christina. She reviewed.
Cool.
Vanished
The
Birds.
Vanished Birds, Vanished Birds, Vanished Birds.
Is it Vanished Birds? Yeah, Vanished Birds. Yeah, Vanished Bird. Evie, she didn't like it like you did.
Listen, I got her around to liking
Did
it.
anyone?
I mean, yeah, but like Christina almost quit it like twice, and she was like, "But Evie gave me the book." Like Evie emotionally blackmailed her into continuing to read it. She was like, "Evie gave me the book." I'm like, "Who cares?"
And the audiobook.
Evie
So
gives
it's
me
a
stuff all the
two-pronged
time that I'll read.
blackmail.
Mm.
So,
Long
but yeah.
Press Quartet, I think each book, yes,
yeah, agreed.
as a
Right.
series whole, I love it, but I like books also. I don't think they're average, actually.
Regardless, like the sentiment's the same. Like Black Company, the series as a whole, is really like it's just better because like book 5 and 6, Dreams of Steel and Shadow Games aren't great, but in the context of that arc that they're telling, like they're necessary and really good. So yeah, Long Price Quartet, same thing. Like the whole thing is really good.
That's two that I started at the end of last year that I'd like to finish this year, but I haven't had a chance.
You haven't finished Long Price Quartet?
No, I only got to read the first one. I know it's not
Why are you
because
reading
I haven't
Bonehead
wanted to.
Dungeon Crawler Bonehead Carl?
Yes.
Because
Why
that
are
is
you
my
reading
fluff in between these massive Malazan books or between Memory,
Okay.
Sorrow, and Thorn. And they
Long
are
Price Quartet, 300 pages, 312 pages, done.
true.
Call it
That's
a day.
I'm trying to finish off some series, but I don't know why I haven't started that. I just had too many commitments, too many read-alongs. I just agreed to too many, and then it's like, oh, I haven't had
Buddy
the
reads
time.
will be the end of us all. Look, Carlos, you have given me permission to hate Dungeon Crawler Carl. Finally, there's a voice in the wilderness. So when I inevitably have to read it because someone puts on my patron wheel, I'm gonna be like, look, Carlos is the prophet here.
Carlos is wrong.
I have decreed that this
I'm
book
going
is
to say that. Carlos is wrong.
I'm so happy when Carlos hated it because everyone in Jimmy's just got, "Oh, Carlos would like it." I was like, no, he won't like it. So
Thank you,
No.
Carlos. Carlos is
Everybody- But like
You're a
everybody
scholar.
misunderstands. Everybody misunderstands my sense of humor. My sense of humor is not that. My sense of humor is a lot different to that. I don't mind it.
It's not my
but-
sense of humor either overall, but I really like the story and the characters.
Oh,
And
they
now
drove me
that I'm-
off.
Sorry?
Alternatively, I love poop and fart jokes and dick jokes, so it's all it's written for me.
I'm afraid that I'm going to find it insufferable.
Yes, you will.
You probably will.
Thank
don't
you,
like it so
Brian.
And okay, Carlos, let me ask you this: is it smug?
Yes. Oh,
No.
so-
Oh, then I'm bound.
No, I don't think
bound
it
to
is.
hate it. I
The
hate
AI
it.
is smug.
The AI is smug.
No, what I'm asking is, can you see,
Look.
like, when you're reading it, can you see the author going, that's smug. That's
Yeah.
smug.
No.
It feels
I'm
like
sorry, I
oh,
disagree with you, Carlos. No,
I'm
I
with
don't
you.
agree.
oh,
I-
I'm just not taking things seriously. I'm so but he does take himself seriously. I don't like it. It's inauthentic and it's poo.
thank you, Carlos. I'm same. Characters
You
have
haven't
to
read
own
it,
up
Anita!
to it.
You haven't
Anita,
read it,
Anita,
Anita.
don't
I'm
let-
not
don't let
talking
them-
about DCC. I'm
don't listen to the
talking about
haters.
those kind of characters.
Don't listen to the haters. You don't
It's
have to read
not
it.
smug. I don't agree with you on that, Carlos. I don't think it's smug at all. I mean, I can see people disliking it because it can be crass. Australians are very crass. We swear like troopers. So for
So
me,
do we.
I didn't care. None of that bothers me. And I can see that bothering some people. And
Thornall, all of
the
Glorious
achievements
Exploits.
and all of that is not a lot of fun, but there's a big drop off of all the achievements and stuff in the later books. and it's the characters I really loved. And I also thought the world is really inventive. All the different
Oh, I'll give you that. Yeah,
battles.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I really liked that.
I'll just say that I think DCC is a prime example of reading is subjective.
Yes, totally agree with that.
Uh,
Who
but
would have
it's not-
thought I'd like it? And yet I do, and I love it. Yeah. So
I
you
am
just
the
never know.
arbiter of truth. So what I say is objective correctness.
You
You
just
haven't
said
read
that
it, so
Carlos
you
is
haven't
can't.
read
the truth
Yeah.
teller.
No, I said Carlos is an acolyte of the truth. I am the arbiter of the truth. See, we all serve the truth, but I am the truth's voice. Carlos is merely another servant of the truth.
I'm a flag bearer.
That's right. That's right. The standard.
But
bearer,
I'm
well.
also willing to be honest about authors I don't like who are very popular. So I don't think it's that. I think it's surprising that this is better than I expected.
I really
I
just
don't-
need everyone to stop talking about it. Like if everyone
Yeah,
stopped
yeah,
reading it,
yeah.
like I might be able to start from zero. And the thing is, it's not saying I won't like it, but like it's starting from like a -4 instead
Yeah.
of starting from zero.
Yeah.
I'm a bit like that with oh God, I don't know
Stormlight.
if I should even say it. Well, Stormlight is one, but also, Robin Hobb, because I tried and tried, and I just cannot
He dies
get
now.
into Robin Hobb.
He
And I
dies
think he's overrated. But
Shots fired. Get him, Kathy.
no, it's just like
My
even
arm is
Phil.
going numb. I can't feel anything.
I'm sorry. Look, the truth is we just can't like all the same things. I mean,
Oh my
I
gosh.
also I don't like Lord of the Rings, the books. Love the films, couldn't stand the books. And
I've read
yeah,
the books once and did not like them, but I mean, again, I was a teenager, so I haven't
That's
read
I
them.
was
more-
an adult.
And teenagers
How
are
many
cool.
fandoms are we going to offend today?
As many as we need to.
I'm
I feel
not
like that's
trying
a
to
common
offend.
sentiment.
I'm just saying that people have different tastes. Not every book is for every reader. I say this all the time because I think it's true. It depends on our experiences, it depends on our preferences, on our tastes as to what we like or not. But I didn't mean to upset anyone when I said that Robin Hobb isn't for me.
It's okay.
Well, I
Evie
mean-
accepted all my unpopular opinions of Robin Hobb. Still my friend. It's okay.
Well,
Evie
I
is
was gonna say,
reasonable.
we can make it even, Kathy. I borderline despise Malazan, so
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
And I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I can see it's not going to appeal to everyone.
Despise. That's such a strong word.
listen, this is based
You
off of
DNF'd
Gardens
it.
of the Moon and DNFing Deadhouse Gates like 75 pages into it. So
Oh, you did read Gardens of the Moon. You read the whole thing, did you?
I
yeah.
read the entire thing, then I tried to reread it and I DNF'd it on reread. So
Oh,
I think Dungeon Crawler Carl is the worst thing to happen to humanity since
Good. Let it out, Carlos.
why?
I don't actually
Dungeon
think
Crawler Pearl is
Dungeon-
worse than nuclear war.
You know,
it is
when
worse
Alan
than the atomic bomb.
when Alan and I read it, we all should join and talk about why DCC is so worse and people are wrong.
But you
I
guys,
think the characters.
It's gonna be
in-
hilarious if you like it, Anita.
I think
Yeah,
you need to try it though before you
I
can
think characters in
criticize
Dungeon
it.
Crawler Carl deserve the situation that they're in.
There you
Yeah,
go.
the whole of Earth deserves. Yeah, okay. I
Fair.
don't disagree with that.
Fair point.
Yeah,
Human stuff.
yeah. I don't
On that
disagree
note,
with that.
guys, we've got to go have dinner. Kathy, congrats on 5 years.
Congrats.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you
Good.
so
Bye,
much
Carlos.
Bye,
for
Yolanda.
both of you
Bye.
for coming. I so appreciate it. Have a great day. Yeah, I'm going to stay until about 4, which is another 12 minutes or so.
Yeah,
You
Evie
guys
and
are
I have
welcome to stay on.
no Evie and I have to drop off in like 12 minutes. because
To
You
do what?
just assume that I'm going to be dropping.
To do what?
sprints in Pete's channel, Tetris sprints.
I was gonna
please.
run sprints. You're gonna
Then
pick
we'll
Pete.
then we
I'm gonna-
can join you.
Well, now I'm gonna run sprints opposite Pete. Pete wants to play this game. All right, Pete. All right, Pete.
No,
No,
Donna,
Donna,
she hasn't-
I have to read sixth book. I read 5. I'll read sixth book this year.
See, I think this is the best advice. It's like anything. Try the first book. If you don't like it, DNF it. You don't have to continue. But I agree, Alan. It's hard when everyone loves something. You're like, I don't want to read it now because everyone's talking about it. I'll wait a few months.
Yeah. That's
So,
how I live.
At a very, 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 very small level, that's kind of my experience with ogres. I think it was hyped so much for me that I was like,
I mean,
okay,
sure,
this
but
is-
everyone's not constantly talking about ogres. They just read
yeah,
it and
but,
like
but
it.
in the microcosm of, you know,
Phoebe, it's not even
Alan's
kind of the
name-
same thing. Get out of here with that. It's not even kind
Listen.
of the same thing. No,
A
you
little
just
bit.
are contrarian. You're
it
just
was 4
contrarian.
it was still 4.5 stars, Alan.
Contrarian. Anyway, Eve, Anitha, talking about people that aren't contrarian. Chatty had just finished Purple and Black.
John's purple.
Guess who convinced her to read it?
Good, good for you. Good for you. I'm glad that I'm that convincing to people. Good job, Chatty. Continue to do
No,
the things that I encourage you
she
to do.
said she tried it long back and she found English difficult. So we had a discussion yesterday. I said it was fine. Maybe it's a mood thing. So she picked it up again and liked it.
Found the what? Chatty, is English not your first language?
No, she's from Belgium. or-
Belgium. French is
Oh.
a first language. I think they
Look,
call
I
Yeah.
just assume English is everybody's first language.
it. Yeah.
Very
No.
American thing.
How
Even
American.
Anita, right? Well,
American
Anita,
me.
is English your first language?
No, third.
That's
No.
what I thought.
I don't understand how anybody watches my channel and it doesn't like. How do you understand half the words I say? Like
You
talk-
enunciate very clearly.
I know, but I talk really fast.
Maybe I'm
And
used to it now. I don't know.
I mean, people can slow down the video and put like 0.5
Yeah.
times speed.
oh, that's true.
Mm, I didn't know that.
Yes, I'm so
Also-
glad, Chatty. I'm glad you loved it. I
Yeah,
really liked
really
it. I'm
cool.
due for a reread.
One
Yeah.
at a time. Listen, Charity, you have to help me convince now everyone else in Jimmy's Discord because they were asking for recommendations. If I suggested Purple and Black last week
I'm
to
not gonna read
someone,
it, Parker. I'm not gonna read it.
they were like, "We don't do that here."
So
I'm
Chadira
on
is
mission
your
now.
first language Dutch, not French. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so apparently Belgium is like half, like, depending upon where you live, it's either French or Dutch.
I got to say, I don't know a lot about Belgium, but I always thought that French was the national language. I didn't realize it may also be Dutch. Isn't that interesting? You learn something new every day.
Eva, you'll
I
probably
mean,
like making history.
the Vatican.
The
Latin.
Vatican what? The Vatican is-
Italian.
yeah.
Some Latin. No, do they actually speak Latin? I don't think
Pope
they
does.
do.
Oh, does?
Oh no, they understand it and they may be able to, but do they actually converse? Like have a
Oh
conversation?
no, the Pope's Twitter posts in Latin.
Okay.
So no, I don't think they talk to each other in Latin, but I think
Yeah.
they correspond in like mass and online in Latin sometimes.
Yeah. No, that I can understand, but as far as I know, no one really uses it as a spoken language. It's more just quoting rather than anything. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to head off actually because it's getting late.
Congratulations,
And my poor dog is waiting to be let out. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate all of you. I think it's one of the best things I've done is meet all these new people recently. So, thank you. What am I doing? I'm pressing the wrong thing. Is that me? I don't even
I have no
know.
idea. I don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to take it off actually. I think you guys can continue if you want to, or you can obviously go on to
No, they have to go. They have to
channel.
go. I'm gonna go try to record, guys. But if the thunder is too bad, I'm coming back and I'm loading up sprints, and Pete's just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah,
So
we are, and Pete
you
just
let him
said
know.
the same thing. Pete
Let
said
Pete
the
know.
same thing. If Alan starts, we'll switch over to
That's
yours.
right. Fall in, Pete.
Well,
People that don't know
again,
me must think I'm
thank
mean.
you.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you
you for
so
having me.
Again,
much
once
for
again, Kathy.
coming. Yeah, thank you. Love you all for coming and making this, really a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Have a
Bye.
great day, everyone. I'm going off to bed now.
Bye.
Bye.